Mabuhay Pilipinas and welcome to United Center Pasig for the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix. Anthony Suta here together with Coach Ronnie Magsanok. And Coach, still in the group stages as we take a look at the matches here for today. TMS-Army is our first game up against PLDT. myDSL Speed Boosters, our second game. RC Cola laban sa Cagayan Valley. In our third game, it's Sistema Active up against Maybank Tigers. And so once again, volleyball action coming your way dito lang po sa Solar Sports. Ang ganda na naman ng mga action na makikita natin dito sa Philippine Superliga Grand Prix.
Lalo na dito sa ating buwan naman ng laban. Simply because these are the only two unbeaten teams right now among our 6-team field here in the Grand Prix tournament. Itong kupunan ng TMS-Army have strung up 2 consecutive wins. Samantalang ang PLDT won its first game kontra sa Signal volleyball team.
Right now, himayin natin itong dalawang mga kupunan para makita natin at maintindihan niyo po yung kalakasan po nitong dalawang kupunan na ito. Dahil siyempre, makikita natin, these two teams are loaded with stars. As you can see there, Mary Jean Balse versus Cagayan. Mary Jean Balse, obviously a byword already as far as Philippine volleyball is concerned.
You talk about a princess in her own right, has won numerous individual titles, but more importantly, has been proven to be a winner in every team that she has played in. And Luang Tong Lang, one of the 2 reinforcements of TS-Army together with Yuki Murakoshi, have been able to combine well with the powerhouse local roster that Coach Rico de Guzman has. And that's the primary reason why Tina Salak has found her groove, towing this team to a 4-set victory kontra sa RC Cola last November 13. And likewise against Cagayan, in November 16, they were able to beat Cagayan in 4 sets, 19-25, 25-14, 25-14, 25-17 as Murakoshi took care of business when you talk about defense, while Marichaya, Luang Tong Lang took care of offense. And as a result, they are #1 right now dito sa ating team standings.
You know, when you look at that squad and we see, of course, a lot of the highlight plays na mga nangyari sa kanila, ibang klase talaga yung pinakita nila. Right now, i-highlight natin itong si Peng dahil itong si Peng na si Wanichaya, ibang klase yung mga numero na binibigay niya sa kupunan ng TMS-Army.
She was the leading scorer that game against Cagayan, and as a result of her expertise, she has been able to help this team to be in the front seat right now. Tina Salak has done an excellent job combining with Murakoshi. May communication problem sila dun sa kanilang unang laro kontra sa RC Cola. But Jovelyn Gonzaga, Mary Jean Balse, and even Rachel Dakis, these veteran players always have been able to lend a hand upang hindi magkaroon ng problema ang TS-Army in their first 2 games.
So obviously, maganda yung kanilang record. Spotless din yung record ng kabilang panig. Pag tinignan naman natin sila, they are 1-0 and of course, they're looking for their second victory here today.
They won versus Signal 25-19, 21-25, 25-21, and 25-21. Sue Roses, a former MVP in the UAAP, showing us why she continues to be one of the top players in the country right now. Ability to execute power hits, ability to be able to complement 2 excellent imports that they brought in from North America. Kaylee Mann stands about 5'11", Savannah Noyes is about 6'3", a setter and an open hitter, making it easy for Coach Roger Gorayan to have that fine debut para dito sa koponan ng PLDT.
So obviously, Coach, something's got to give here today because these two teams on a roll, both of them looking for another win, and all of them, of course, want to keep their record spotless.
Especially so that PLDT, which finished only in the 5th spot in our first conference, is looking for a much better showing. Coach Roger Gorayan has brought in several new players to be able to help the reinforcements that have been able to help him win their first game. Lula Tiga is there, Sue Roses is there. Of course, hindi natin pwedeng tawaran itong si Maru Banatikla, who is also on deck for Coach Roger Gorayan. Of course, Sue Roses was named the best player of that game. Savannah Noyes and Kaylee Mans, probably the 2 reinforcements na walang communication problem when you talk about just trying to have the team chemistry sa kanilang mga bagong kasama. Let's see if Coach Roger Gorayan was again able to weave his magic kontra champion coach ng PSL, is Coach Rico de Guzman.
Right now, let's check with the third member of our panel, Denise Tan.
Guys, on my right, I have Jovelyn Gonzaga of TMS-Army. Jovelyn, so you guys are 2-0. Tapos in those 2 games, you guys all did very well. Anong plano nyo to continue that?
Siguro tuloy-tuloy lang namin yung training program namin. Tapos yung araw-araw na conditioning mismo sa sarili namin para ma-maintain namin yung condition namin sa laro. Yun, tapos yung dapat mag-gel talaga yung dalawang guests sa amin.
Alright, thank you, Jovelyn, and good luck. On my left naman, Lou and Latigay. Lou, kanina nagkakantuhan tayo. You guys said na even though you won on the first game, there's still trouble with the attack department. how do you plan to go about that?
Kasi as we can see, meron kaming maliliit na outside hitter. So yun nga, sa setter walang problema. So communication na lang din sa loob talaga.
All right, thank you, Lou, and good luck. Back to you, Anthony and Coach Ronnie.
Thank you very much, Denise. Well, today, obviously, something has got to give dito po sa ating Inares Center Pasig because these two teams want to stay spotless. Makikita po natin in just a little bit dito lang sa Post Polar Sports who will remain spotless as far as these two teams are concerned.
Second referee, Mr. Roberto Celso, National Referee. Starting 6 for the PLDT, myDSL. Player wearing jersey number 3, Roses Hussein. Player wearing jersey number 6, Kylie Vance. Player wearing jersey number 7, Sabanda Noyes.
And now we have here the players being introduced. I'm excited about this game. This normally should be the main event of the day, but dahil sa scheduling, syempre, sila yung nauna natin dito papakita. Pero dapat dapat ang main game natin para sa araw na to dahil ito yung dalawang team na wala pang talo eh.
And I believe that on paper, these are two of the strongest teams in the field right now. Kaylee Mans and Savannah Noyes continues to lead the way for Coach Roger Gorayev.
Grabe talaga dun. Pag nakita mo talaga yung lineup dito sa Philippine Superliga eh. You know, wala kang latak, so to speak eh.
Kaya nga super yung
the
liga
very best that we have here in the country.
But if there's something that is not just a novelty but a breakthrough for PSL, I believe it is bringing into reinforcements. I have not seen this in the landscape of volleyball.
At kumuha pa tayo ng mga import galing pa dun sa Amerika. Medyo napakalayo nun.
Hindi lang sa Southeast Asia, no? At maging sa East Asia, itong ating mga imports ay malaki ang transfer of technology na magagawa para sa ating mga local players.
Malaking bagay nga talaga yun.
As the petite Yuki Murakoshi, of course, Coach Rica de Guzman, all smiles. Medyo nahirapan na si Luang Tonglang, Wanichaya Luang Tonglang, bigkasin ng ating kasama rito. Paiksin mo nga yung pangalan, Anthony.
Peng.
Yan. I like that better.
We will call her Peng. Alam mo talaga, ganun talaga. I mean, you know, if you're used to international volleyball at sanay ka sa yung mga Thai players, ang hahaba talaga ng mga pangalan nila. Pero meron sila parating nickname na napakaiksi naman.
You want to make it more difficult? Read their names written in their own alphabet.
Naku, patay kang bata ka.
Ang haba niyan. But today is no secret. These are the only two unbeaten teams in the field right now. Both win-loss cards unscathed. Savannah Noyes and Kaylee Mans for PLDT will try to preserve their 1-0 card. Try to elevate that to 2 straight wins. But for TMS-Army, alam nila, to be in the top 2 spots is vital sa kanilang kampanya in getting their second consecutive crown here in the PSL.
Panton and out with the best of receptions to start things off. Puntos kaagad dito para sa TMS-Army.
The first set, rather, I think that point went to PLDT, myDSL. Itong TMS-Army has lost the first set in their first 2 games. So medyo diesel ang nagiging simula para dito sa PLDT.
Tama, sabi mo, the first point goes
Army
over to the other side. Pero yun nga, hindi maganda kasi yung reception ni Pantoni umover. Kaso lang yung regalo, hindi nila tinanggap eh. Binalik nila yung puntos.
These are 2 explosive teams when you talk about offense. And definitely, floor defense is going to be integral in their own campaign. At yung net defense mahalaga yan. Good save
Nahabol pa
coming
ni
from
Yuki.
Maracosio. Oh.
That's gonna go down. Walang question yun.
Always a luxury when you have that very tall setter because she can really have a very wide perspective. Kaylee Mans with a jump set, Sue Rosses with an attack point. 3-0, lamang na rito ang PLDT.
Not the best of receptions once again, that time on the side of Carolino.
That's a back set that went away. Balse tried to go para dito kay Osnat Salak, tried to go to Jovelyn Gonzaga. And I thought that ball is quite low para dito kay Gonzaga. 4 straight points para dito sa Speed Boosters.
And I'm surprised no timeout being called yet by TMS-Army to try to correct matters if they can. Poor set. Chance now for the Army to get on to the board. Let's see what happens here if they can actually get it. That is a poor pass galing kay Yuki. And there was no pressure whatsoever on that free ball.
And they're playing true to form. Talking about the Lady Troopers, slow starters, but winners of 2 straight games. Kaylee Mans has been a fixture dyan sa service deck na yan. 5 straight points para sa white shirts.
Rosses just gets it across. They go to the other side. Peng finally scores here for TMS-Army.
Peng had 23 points, built on 20 spikes. And today she will be at the forefront of the offense of the Lady Troopers. This is a nice cross-court set coming from Tina Salak against 2 blockers. But Peng will score, will not be denied. Wow. She looked cross-court but went down the line. And she was able to get past the defense of Yelay Benting, who had that good cover, pero half a step late to be able to have that fine reception. 2 straight points naman off the serve of Mary Jean Balse.
Poor reception.
Charo Soriano tried to hustle for that second ball to no avail.
Umahabol na ang TMS-Army, just down by 2. Balse with another excellent serve. Mans keeps it in play. Combination play, Gonzaga.
Primary reason why she was one of the best, she was named as the best player in their last game. Itong si Gonzaga has definitely evolved to be one of the better players in the local scene right now. Tahimik pero mapanganib. Balse with a service error. But 4 straight points were extracted dun sa kanyang pag-serve. They're still down at 6-4 here in the first set. Si Charo Soriano nanliit sa lalaki ng mga reinforcements. Ano?
And she is one of the taller players we have
Yes.
here locally.
She's in very good shape, looking lean and mean.
Kailan ba hindi naging lean yan?
Kondisyon na kondisyon si Charo.
Pantone comes right back in.
But not after,
Papahinga ng konti si Soriano. Go ahead.
not after Gonzaga scored once again. A lefty is always tough to play against with. Mahirap kalaban maski anong sport.
Trying to keep that alive. But
Salak,
PLDT will score once again.
Salak had that first ball pero hindi masyado maganda yung kanyang reception. Hinabol nitong si Gonzaga pero hindi na niya naiakyat. What you like about Kaylee Mans is the fact that she is not only an excellent setter but a very good defender.
Well, talaga inaasahan siya to be one of the walls of the defense. Gonna run out of spaces, TMS-Army. And that will bring us to our technical timeout of set number 1. At nangingibabaw ang koponan ng PLDT. They're up 8-5. Back here to the Inares Center in Pasig.
We heard Rachel Dakis earlier mentioning that with the opposition that they will be facing today, with the team that PLDT has built, definitely their net defense is going to be very crucial in their campaign to protect an unbeaten slate. Nagulat ako sa tangkad ni Sabana Noise.
Ayoko nga tabihan.
Yan, no?
Yuki keeps that alive. They get it over. Free ball here. Quick set. And Noyes hardly has to jump over that net.
And that's why she is a middle hitter. Savannah Noyes and Kaylee Mans, a product of the U.S. NCAA Division I League. One is from Kansas, the other from Iowa.
Alam mo, pag nakapaglaro ka ng Division I sa US, kahit anong sport, alam mo naman siguradong mahusay ka.
First time yata natin na magkakaroon ng katuwang na galing sa Division I ng NCAA. Imagine the kind of impact that these two players will have. And the confidence level of our top young players.
Bang! They go to Roses on the other side. Buhay pa, TMS-Army.
That's over the head of Yuki, who had that nice dig earlier. The floor defense of TMS-Army has to have that double effort, triple effort maybe, in order for them to receive and defend against the multiple attackers of PLDT.
Let's check in with Denise.
Why fix it if it's not broken? This is the response I got when I asked Coach Rico de Guzman if he's planning to change anything in today's match. He said that his team has been playing really well in the past 2 games and he wants nothing else than maybe double their focus and energy on PLDT Savannah Noyes. Other than that, de Guzman said that he has full confidence that the Lady Troopers will be going home smiling after they win this match. Back to you, Anthony and Coach Ronnie.
Thanks a lot, Denise. Well, that's a huge task to be able to try to nullify Noyes. Pero kita mo, Coach, no, talaga yun ang focal point ng kanilang depensa.
Without question. That's why Yuki has to be able to play better. She has to be excellent with her digs. Reaction time should be outstanding today. Because with PLDT, you have Sue Roses. You have Savannah Noyes. You have Charo Soriano who can hurt your defense. Kaylee Mans can also attack because she's 5'11". May Eli Benting pa.
Alam mo, these two teams are stacked from top to bottom.
Oh, no doubt.
At kaya hindi nga ako nagdududa na wala pa nga silang talo. But obviously, something will give dito sa araw na to.
According to that last report by Denise, very confident naman si Coach Rico de Guzman heading into this matchup versus the reigning champions ng PSL Invitationals, looking to win their 2nd straight crown. But this is a different setup. The Grand Prix tournament, the 2nd stage for PSL.
This is now a 6-point edge opened up here by PLDT.
Tinasalak emerged as the best blocker of the first conference, kasamang Anthony. And that will be called upon by Coach Rico de Guzman to try and match up against the very tall attackers of PLDT like that. Pero hindi pumasok.
Benting that time scores.
Masyado ng malaki ito. Forces the hand of Coach Rico de Guzman to call timeout. They're down by 7 at 14 versus 7.
Kailangan natin ng depensa or defense, Yuki. Ha? Wala tayong block. Pag yung quicker, dalawa na, quicker. Sabay na agad sa block. Tapos, huwag mo idikit yung set. Ha? Hihirapan muna. Adjust muna tayo. Kahit buka-buka lang muna. Pag misreceive, huwag muna idikit sa net. Taas mo lang muna. Ayan, abal-abal. Let's go, let's go.
Bang there on your screens earlier. Looking to lead the charge here as they try to make a comeback. PLDT has doubled up on TMS-Army. That is a surprise. On the back row, Noyes. Dug by Peng. Kita mo yung blocking ni Mans. Benting can't get across.
During the huddle, sabi ni Coach Rico de Guzman, they have to play much better defense. And then he also instructed Tinasalak na wag masyadong idikit yung bola sa kanyang mga papalong mga kasama dahil nababasa rin naman ng net defenders ng PLDT. Si Eli Benting committing her 2nd consecutive attack ever. Eli Benting, if you can remember, played for the Adamson Lady Falcons. One top-notch player from the UAAP. now trying to help out Coach Roger Gorayev win his first title here in the PSL.
Trying to send that to the back. Carolino gets to it. Bang with the attack. They go to the outside. Benting.
Ayala is very streaky. When she gets going, it's hard for the defense to stop her. Pero she tends to spray her shots when she misses those zones that she wants to direct her attack hits. Ayala Benting will get a breather. In comes Maru Balatikla na nag-forgo na ng kanyang final year for the UST Lady Tigers for her to be able to play here in the PSL.
So you definitely know that she's in shape.
She was a highly recruited high school player who crossed over to the UAAP, and just like Eliza Valdez has made an immediate impact for her alma mater.
And a quick timeout here on the other side because 4 straight points ang nakuha ng TMS-Army.
You got to spike the ball. Cha. Galawan mo, Cha. Huwag kang gumit na. Galawan mo siya rito para maka-ano siya rito, ha? Girls! We need to have a good reception, ha? Ayusin nyo yung receive mo, Maru. Huwag mo paluway ng diretso. Huwag mo padahalin kay Gingging, ha?
Roger is such an experienced coach. As you can see, he quickly addressed the 2 American imports and then after that continued to talk to the locals about the minor details that have to be done.
Sometimes the little things are going to hurt you, or it will help you. And at this stage of this comeback and fight back by the Lady Troopers, the first ball is going to be extremely important para dito sa PLDT. Good dig, good reception by Lizzie Gata, and that helped that last point para dito sa PLDT.
They've stopped the bleeding. They've increased their lead back up to 4.
Dati si Lizzie Gata yung pinakamatining, rather Pantone, ang sa mga pinakamatining na libero. Ngayon, ang dami-dami na magagaling.
That's great vision there.
Sinasabi nating capacity itong si Mans to also help out on offense for PLDT, who scored 2 straight points heading to the second technical timeout.
Back to the action here at Inares Center in Pasig. Let's check in with Denise.
Guys, despite having a very talented setter, Coach Roger Gorayev's main concern is the lack of plays his team is executing. He said it's one thing to dominate physically and it's another thing to dominate mentally. Simply put, more plays means more confusion for the opponent. Back to you, Anthony.
Right now, it looked like Michelle Carolina on the other side was confused there with that serve. It is now a 6-point advantage enjoyed by PLDT.
The score stood at 14-7, and then TS-Army had 4 consecutive points to narrow the gap at 14-11, and then PLDT also strings up 3 consecutive, make that 4 consecutive points to elevate their advantage to 7 once again. Iba talaga pag magandang naging simula mo, may puhunan ka, yung return of investment mo, eh sa dulo mo na kukuha.
And the lead is back up to 7. Not the best of attacks from TMS-Army on the outside. Scoring once again is PLDT. This is the biggest lead of our first set. And again, TMS-Army will call for time, their final timeout of set number 1.
Tulungan natin mag-receive. Wala tayong receive. Kanina lang, kaunti lang yan. Ayan, oh. Ang layo na agad. So wala tayong receive. Hindi tayo makatake na maganda. Tulungan niyo si Yuki mag-receive. Kahit sino sa inyo pwede mag-receive. Basta kahit itaas na lang sa gitna.
Pakakabay natin si Miguel doon. Yuki, cover Miguel. Okay, go back. Okay, you're the one to receive.
We talked about possible communication problems between reinforcements and the local players and even the coaches. With Coach Rico de Guzman instructing her local players to help out in reception and trying to get that ball to where they want to in terms of attack. But that is a faulty set by Salak for Balse. And this has increased or ballooned to a 9-point advantage.
Well, Coach, if you told me In one of the sets, 11 puntos pa lang ang magbibigay nitong TMS-Army. I would not have believed you.
Ulitin natin, ha? The storyline for the Army Troopers in the last 3 games is they have dropped the first set and then won the next 3 sets. A joust between Mans and Salak. Finally, a good reception ni Yuki.
Ito si Yuki, siguro parang diesel yan eh.
Alam mo, mahirap kasi, Anthony, hindi rin nila kilala yung kalaban nila. Takes a while to get familiar with who you will play against.
Nice attack from the back from Marikula.
Binuhay ni Yuki, ha?
Latiga trying to score. On the other side, Ping! From the back, Roses. Boy, the best point we're watching so far. And Balse scores over Soriano.
2 times they were disconnected, referring to Salak and Merijin Balse. But in this last setup by Salak for Merijin Balse, Balse will connect. They're still 8 points behind. Lizzie Gata, sanay ako na Lizzie Gata ang tawag. Ngayon, Liza Pantone na.
Pero same girl anyway.
Ay, oo.
Pareho naman yung tinutukoy mo, coach. Nice score there by Charo Soriano.
That's the bread and butter move of Charo. That running hit. Pushing PLDT to only be 4 points away from sealing set 1 versus the Army Troopers.
Gonzaga looking to score. On the outside.
Gonzaga reminds me so much of a very young, or rather a young Aiza Maiso. When Aiza Maiso was still in her sophomore year for the Lady Tigers. Ganyan ang build ni Aiza Maiso. Ganyan kabilis siyang umere at lakas pumalo. Some numbers there on your screens earlier.
Great dig there by Mans. Getting down and dirty. And Peng can get to that one.
As you mentioned, Kaylee Mans also exerting effort in many other things. Receiving, setting, scoring, and serving well for PLDT. They're on top by 11.
That's going to be an overset.
When you're up by this big a margin, you can afford those type of errors, but not for the Lady Troopers.
I guess this is a foregone conclusion. Pero lalaban pa rin ng Army. They're looking for some momentum to be able to take into the second set. Pantone gets to that one. Roses trying to end it. That's going to go out.
Jackie Alarc has been very quiet on offense for the Lady Troopers here in the first set. As Coach Roger Gurayev sends back in Sabana Noise, who is in a very dangerous possession.
Talagang sabi niya, sigurado. Gusto ko na makuha itong first set. Tapusin
Tuldukan
na
mo
natin.
na. Oo, tuldukan mo na.
Great serve there by Soriano. And Noise comes in, delivers. And that is the end of set number 1 for TMS Philippine Army.
Very quick first set. Done in under 20 minutes. PLDT,
halos hindi pa nga pinagpapawisan
Correct,
yung Army.
correct.
Tapos na eh.
Totoo yan, totoo yan. At let's see if the Lady Troopers will be able to rebound after a lackluster start for the 3rd straight game and once again resume their winning ways.
Welcome back to the United Center here in Pasig as we take a look at the numbers of set number 1.
We talk about a dominant performance by PLDT. Attack points was abundant for them, making it difficult for TMS-Army to just be able to receive and keep the ball alive. And that's the reason why, after that running hit by Charo Soriano, the Team PLDT cruised to that 12-point advantage en route to that 25-13 win in set 1 of this initial battle sa ating triple header on this Wednesday afternoon.
That was a real convincing first set. They totally dominated TMS-Army in all departments, but in fairness, TMS-Army actually didn't look like they put up a fight, so obviously I'm looking forward to a better second set here.
And let's see, their pride was pricked And let's see if right now a sense of urgency will set in for the Lady Troopers, as now they have seen the measure of their opposition, and you can say clearly the opposition is excellent, and that if they don't wake up here in the second set, they could be swept. Because ang daming mong kailangan depensahan, ang daming mong kailangan trabahuhin. They cannot afford another flat start. As Suro says, dialed 2 attacks and has served 4 excellent sets so far for Coach Roger Guraya. Mabigat yung terabytes ng reinforcements ng PLDT. Ilang gig ba yan, ano? Daming karga nung wala nang motherboard ngayon yata tinatawag. Diba? No, wala na, iba na. Wala nang floppy disk.
And now they go right back to that formula of having Mans start things off. But on the other side, ito sabi nung TMS-Army, we are not gonna get off to a flat start similar to what happened in set number 1.
They were down 5-0 right away. I think in about a minute and a half of that first set.
At talaga nahirapan na silang bumangon nun. They go to Latigay. And she gets that off the block.
Did you see the way Kaylee Mann spotted Latigay on that left side? And that set was precise. Makakita mo yung lutong nung flick nung wrist. Eksaktong-eksakto yung bigay, and Latigay would not make a mistake. We're now tied at 1-all.
And Noyes is back to create havoc up the middle. Soriano sends that long.
It's a good read coming from Carolino. Charo Soriano attacking Carolino. We saw her score against Carolino in set 1.
And Carolino comes up with a nice smile there because that was very close.
Yes.
It was on its way down. Let's check in with Denise.
According to Coach De Guzman, the reason why they lost the first set is basically due to the lack of basics. He said that you could not expect a perfect kill from a mediocre set, which came from an awful dig. Aside from that, De Guzman also addressed the fact that the Lady Troopers did not even give 100% in trying to stop PLDT's offense, specifically Savannah Noyes. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Not enough effort. As a coach, you don't want to coach effort. Effort has to be a constant with your players, because effort will always comprise the desire of these players to be able to win and compete at any level.
Poor serve there from Latigay. But you can see, I mean, again, you can come up and devise ways to be able to stop Noise, but when she's there at the net, a while ago, nakita mo talagang head and shoulders above everybody else. Kitang-kita niya lahat ng tao. Pwede niya talagang pwestuhan.
Alam mo kung gaano siya kalaki. Maski yumuko siya, malaki pa siya kay Yuki.
That's right.
Katangkad Nakita ko kanina, nakatukod dun sa timeout. Nung sinukat ko, matangkad pa rin siya
Wow. Nice dig by Pantone. Pantone again. They go to the outside. Roses. They won't get that over. Oh, that should have been 4.
I thought that was 4 touches.
So did I.
Ayan, nare-remind ni Coach Roger Guraya, pero puntos pa rin naman napunta sa kanila. Mabuti hindi tumigil maglaro o pumalo yung mga players ng speed boosters.
And all 4 players looked up at the official and said 4. You and I looked at each other saying that was 4.
Kasama nga Anthony, itong si Lizzie Gata is a perfect complement to the outstanding and multiple attackers of PLDT. Parang, I got your back no?
Basta umupensa lang kayo, ako nang bahala rito sa likod.
Ako bahala sa transition from offense to defense. Sagot ko kayo. Ginawa ng paraan ni Savannah Noyes. Nabitin siya
But you see, just shows you her length, Coach. Nakita mo, tama yung sabi mo Mali na nga yung kanyang talon. Nakapag-adjust pa rin. Naabutan pa rin niya yung bola
6'3" to ng walang sapatos. Pag may sapatos, mga 6'5". Pag tinasyo mga kamay, siguro I think her wingspan is about for a 7-footer at the very least. Mahaba kasi She's not yung narrow na 6'3" Siya yung mahabang 6'3" na tinatawag kasi ang haba ng legs. Iba kasi maikli legs, mahaba katawan. Itong haba nung lower extremities.
And I've seen players, not really play up to their size. Pero ito, nakita mo talagang ginagamit talaga niya yung kanyang laki.
She is a travel athlete already. We just talked about earlier her exploits in the USNCAA. But really, marami nang napuntahan. Itong si Savannah Noyes, maging itong si Kaylee Mans.
Poor reception there by Peng. And the tie reinforcement here para sa koponan ng TMS-Army has not really helped their cause. At least not today. 6-4, PLDT still with the lead. Yuki finally getting to that. On the back, Noise.
Coach Roger Gorayev unhappy with that last decision by our umpires.
Tinutulak niya pabalik, hindi naman sineset. Bakit overreach? Coach, tinutulak, hindi naman sineset. Bakit overreach?
It'll be nice to see that once again.
Sabi ni Coach Roger, hindi namang set. Tinutulak niya pabalik para mapalo nilang ng maayos. Maru Banatikla comes back, firing hard. And even against two blockers will score.
But I think the point of their officials was, alam mo, hindi pa nakakatawid yung bola eh.
Huwag mo munang galawin.
Oo eh. Pumasok na si Charo. That's why I said I would have wanted to see it again. But initially, from what I saw, it looked like a good call dahil pumasok na nga yung kamay ni Charo nang masyado maaga. Nonetheless, balik po tayo sa aksyon. 2 puntos po naman ng koponan ng PLDT. Now make that 3. And that's going to bring us to another technical timeout. First technical timeout of set number 2. Yuki Murakoshi with 4 excellent digs. Leslie and Pantone, or a lot of people still remember as Leslie and
Yes,
Gata, with
I
also
do.
4 excellent digs.
I do. So far, Murakoshi playing a much better set compared to the first set. While Peng or Wanichay or Luang Tung Lang still contained by the defense of the White Shirts. We talked about the reinforcements of PLDT earlier. Mans is a 5'11" setter who played before para sa koponan ng Iowa State Cyclones. Savannah Noise is a 6'3" quicker who played professionally in Slovakia, France, and in England. At sabi, nag-crossfit. Pag ikaw ay nag-crossfit training, my goodness, sinasabi ko po sa inyo, napanood ko yon. Hindi ko po nagawa, hindi ko na kaya. Napakabigat nung training na yon.
Pero makakatulong talaga sa atleta yon, sigurado.
Alam mo ba, Anthony, na yan ang ipinupunta ng programa ng Ateneo at San Beda whenever they go to that Abu Nassar camp. Aside from the basketball skills that you are able to extract, yung CrossFit facilities nila, yun ang talagang binabayaran mo. Grabe talaga eh.
To the back. Banatikla, basa. And that lead has now been cut down to 2 from a high of 4.
I was able to see an episode of the CrossFit Challenge or contest last year. Wala na kasing ESPN channel ngayon. Pero nakita ko, Mariosep, di ka bubuhayin ng mga babaeng kasali. Izagata finally scored on by the offense of the Lady Troopers. Tina Salak and Kaylee Mans. And that matchup so far tilting in favor of Kaylee Mans. Although most of those happened in the first set, na kung saan they won comfortably at 25-13. Now, this is a toe-to-toe battle that we're seeing here in set 2.
Trying to score is Peng. She has been quiet from the back row. Banatikla again can't get it across.
That's quite a low ball for the back row attack coming from Banatikla. Gigil na gigil siya dahil nakita niya butas sa gitna eh. Pero sometimes an off-speed attack can be good enough para maitaas mo yung bola.
Tabla na po tayo at 9. Mans sends it outside to Latigay. Latigay gets it across.
That's a good block coming from Peng. Latigay not quick to recover and cover that zone. Si Latigay, hindi ko nagkakamali, nagka-ACL na to eh. When she played for Coach Roger Gorayev for the Ladies Tags of San Sebastian. It has recovered from that time. Matagal-tagal na rin naman yun, a former NCAA MVP in that dynasty that Coach Roger Gorayev established for San Sebastian. Alam ko, mahigit 20 titulo ang uwiro ni Coach Roger.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's a legend there.
Oh, that's good
Great
net
attack.
defense. Yes, good net defense first. Kaylee Mans tried to rebound after that last error Instead, itong Lady Troopers, naagaw ng kalamangan at 11-9.
Sabi ko pag pumalo, umatras ka tapos kunin mo yung bola. Nakatayo ka lang dun sa bibigyan ka niyang backline. Kakapraso lang yung buwelo mo. Umatras ka, tapos paluin mo yung bola. Paltok-paltok mo lang Diyan, kailangan makagawa kayo dyan. Galing yan sa 5. Utang na, 6 na puntos yan. Di tayo gumalaw, 5-9 yan. Bukan? Ha? Dikit mo yung, basta dikit.
Scores stood at 8-5 earlier. And since that time, the Lady Troopers have won 6 of the last 7 points.
Hence the sweet nothings.
Nothing.
11-9 lamang na po ang Army looking to try to tie things up because obviously as far as they're concerned, talagang gusto nila makatabla na sila as soon as possible.
Oh, wow. I've seen dumps heading to that front line or front row, but not that deep. And that is how tall Kaylee Mans is, illustrating to us yung power ng flick niya. Hindi madali yun, itulak sa dulo.
And again, Kaylee Mans goes right back to her monstrous serving ways.
She has scored numerous points whenever she has been on deck to serve. 2 straight points for PLDT after the timeout by Coach Roger.
And looks like may tina-target siya ron. And it's Gonzaga. Back set, Roses blocked. Man sends it right back to her. And she gets that through and scores.
Nagawa ng paraan ni Sue Roses. Mababa yung back set ni Kaylee Mans, but Sue Roses is a tested veteran, also a former MVP. Laro para sa UE. Naglalaro para sa PLDT here in the second conference of the PSL. Yan ang paboritong galaw ni Sue Roses. 1-2. A running hit.
Nagkakaintindihan na talaga sila. You can see it. The communication factor is there. And they are really playing like a well-oiled machine. Mans serving again.
Look at that cover by Gata.
Soriano scores up the middle.
Easily you can spot that Soriano attack. But who saved that ball? Who saved that play para sa PLDT against Lizzie Gata?
And no timeout here coming from TMS-Army. That one barely long.
A rare service error coming from Kaylee Mans. Brings back in crowd favorite Rachel Ann Dakis for Michelle Carolino. 4 straight points converted by PLDT, but they give up 1 of that error coming from Kaylee Mans. Score stands at 14-12. Faulty reception by Maruba Natikla. At pagilid siyang tumitingin kay Coach Roger Gorayev. Ngayon hindi na pwedeng pagilid ang kanyang tingin dahil katabi na niya si Coach Roger.
Well, a while ago, Benting was the one that was actually not performing that well. Kaya pinasok nga si Banatikla. Tapos maganda yung pinakita niya dun sa ating first set. And it seems like her performance is dipped here somewhat. Kaya napalitan na naman siya. Roses scores.
And again, Lizzie Angata contributing the little things that has enabled PLDT to rebound from that 9-8 deficit, or rather 11-9 deficit, and protect a 15-13 advantage.
That's not gonna get across. That was clear.
One of the best blockers in local scene, Sue Roses, combining with Savannah Noyes to have that defensive blanket against the Lady Troopers.
Let's check in now with Denise here before we start anything else.
First containing Wanichaya, PLDT now has their eyes on Gonzaga. Gorayev pointed out that Gonzaga is the only one keeping the Lady Troopers alive. He said that if they stop those 2 attackers, they will have a much more smoother ride in trying to bag the second set. Contains Halak, and this match will end in 3 straight sets. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Thanks a lot, Denise. Kitang-kita mo talaga. Yung mga plano, nag-iiba talaga yun eh. You know, as the match progresses. And right now, Peng has not been in her element.
Well, she needs her offense to be able to just take care of the other things. And right now, that offense that she's been able to help the Philippine Army team with lalong-lalo na dun sa kanilang huling laro wherein she was able to pour in a total of 23 points. It's not coming into play kasi top of radar ng game plan sa defense ng PLDT, markahan itong si Peng. At ngayon ay nadjejeta pa rin itong si Savannah Noyes. At ang katuwang niya ngayon ay si Latigay. Very strong net defense by PLDT, enabling them to build another 5-point cushion at 18-13.
That is a huge defensive weapon when you have Noise up there. Noise gets to that, but lumusot pa rin.
May gap kasi dun sa wall na sinimento sana ni Noise at nitong si Sue Roses. This is probably the first push by the Lady Troopers. Their attempt to fight back and steal the second set away mula dito sa myDSL Speed Boosters.
Great serve by Alarca. Noise will just get that over. And long.
That's a free ball. It was too strong. Miscommunication earlier between Latigay and Lizzie Angata. What would you rather have? Or what would you rather get that that second ball to secure an attack mode para dito sa Speed Boosters?
On the back, Latigay. Just gonna have to get that over.
Difficult angle. She was tentative and she paid dearly.
Twice free balls,
Yes.
hindi na may pasok
Yung first ball talaga importante yung reception. They were on top at 18-13. 3 straight points by the Lady Troopers, and suddenly this is a very close contest here in the second set at 18-16, still in favor of PLDT. And as we say that, may regalong na ibigay si Jackie Alarca para kay Lula Tigay and Company. Free ball by Balse. And again, digging is an integral part in the floor defense of any team in particular. You don't receive well, problems happen. If you don't receive and dig well, you're prone or susceptible to those type of errors. Playing with a chance to bring the Lady Troopers closer. Difficult to defend. Once again, Lizzie Gata. Excellent first ball. Setting up Kaylee Mans, who once again directs that set for Savannah Noyes.
At may bagong papasok. Lumabas na muna si Latigay. Moralde papasok. They have to get that over. Well, you don't want to be in a joust and you don't want to keep that ball close to the net. Pag nandun si Savannah Noyes.
Rachel Dakis wanted that ball, but Savannah Noyes able to anticipate well. 4 points ahead and 4 points away from closing out this second set. Gonzaga's emerged to be one difficult cover for Lizzie Gata. Gonzaga trying to save this set for TS-Army.
Bautista coming in for the first time.
Yes, and Iratay.
Together with, here's Iratay.
That's a designated server, equivalent to a designated hitter in baseball. Mahirap yan.
Tama. Coming off the bench, exactly. Look at that hang time of Noise. We go to the other side, Benting. There's Peng. That power tip just running out of space.
Ang hirap sigurong kamayan ni Kaylee Mans. Ang tigas ng mga daliri. Lakas no? Nilihis niya pero ran out of space. 4 points away but only 2 points ahead Itong PLDT.
And when you're in trouble, when in doubt, go to Noise.
And no doubt, she can deliver. She's not only tall, she has that hang time move. Look, a bit of hesitation as if she was going deep. And then she goes cross court, slapping that ball away from the receivers. Like that serve. Magulang maglaro no?
Sobra. Charo Soriano. Officials say will not get that over.
Sabi ni Coach Roger, pababa ang palo.
Mas lalo na yung kanina, yung regalo, dapat panalo na yun eh. That should have been a point for
Tapos
them
na dapat,
already.
diba? Minsan nanggigigil ka kasi nauuna yung swing lang no? Kaysa yung follow through na tinatawag. Wow, what a serve.
They go outside, Benting. Bautista gets down and dirty. Daki sends that long.
She wanted a check ball. 3 points ahead and 2 points away from the second set are the Speed Boosters.
But this is actually the scoreline that you and I were expecting.
Yes.
Talagang git-gitan dapat itong dalawang to.
Huwag niyo itapon, naghahabol na tayo eh. Tapos ikaw, King, kakayo, yung quicker, papasok doon. Hahabulin yung ganun, wala na yun eh. Ang intent doon, dito na lang. Dito, wala na dito. Tara, let's go!
Savannah Noise, 6 attacks, 1 serve. That's just in our second set. And again, leading the charge offensively para sa kanyang koponan. 23-20. Benting with the serve. Trying to stay alive here. TMS-Army. Combination play doesn't work. Panton is right there. They go to the back. Roses, yes!
And that's what the veterans can bring you when you need the points. When the important points are needed, they can step up to the plate and connect. Floor defense of the Lady Troopers continues to be a problem for Coach Rico de Guzman.
Last-ditch effort.
Pero ang hirap nung set na yun no? That's a back set, a jumping back set by Kaylee Mans for Sue Roses. Perfect and precise.
She does it in her sleep, obviously.
Galing talaga. I think it's also a huge advantage that these reinforcements are able to communicate easier with the local roster of Coach Roger. Simple lamang maski marukin mo yung English mo. Yung volleyball terms, madali kayong magkaintindihan. And although universal naman, in terms of sign language, iba na rin yung nagkakaintindihan kayo at nagkakausap kayo.
At least yung mga keywords, ano?
Oo. Run. Defend.
Receive.
Give. Yes, give.
Nice stretch. They look for Soriano. Dakis tries to score. Panton is there. Moralde with the point, and that does it. Coming off the bench, Moralde with a spark.
Has always been a very steady performer. Always efficient itong si Moralde. 25-13 in the first set, 25-20 in the second set. 2-set advantage by the DSL Speed Boosters.
Before we enter set number 3, let's take a look at the numbers of set number 2. And again, a dominating performance here as shown by the numbers for PLDT.
Offense continues to be the focal point of PLDT success. But you cannot discount the fact that their floor defense is much, much better than what the Lady Troopers have. Hindi natin nakikita dyan yung mga digs, yung mga ginagawa ni Lizzie Angata. Rachel Duck is still with a lovely smile. But if you take a look at the first 2 sets, those happy smiles should be on the faces of the Speed Boosters, who have generated a 2-set advantage anchored on multiple attackers. And once again, the excellent level of play of setter Kaylee Mans.
Let's see if TMS-Army can get off to a good start. That's what they need. Mans goes right back. And Latigay scores again. Same old story as the first 2 sets. Gonzaga finds a seam.
Gonzaga, I think, is the leading scorer for the Lady Troopers, but she cannot do it alone. Peng has been contained. Let's say Rachel Dakis will be able to score heavily for the Lady Troopers, but on the more important aspect, yung floor defense nila, kailangan talaga mas magara, kailangan talaga mas masipag, at kailangan talaga umepekto dito pa lang sa unang bahagi ng third set.
That's kept alive. And Peng scores.
Finally.
She has been the real missing link here today.
That's a shot in the arm for the confidence back of the Lady Troopers, who have been shut down in the first 2 sets with outstanding level of play by myDSL.
Yun ang sinasabi ni Coach Roger kanina kay Charo. Sabi niya, when you have the opportunity up front, patayin mo na. At yan ang ginawa niya.
Alam naman natin na si Charo during her time for the Lady Eagles, kung anong klase ang level ng kanyang laro. And even after she has finished her degree with Ateneo, nakita mo, she has kept herself in shape. Once upon a time, I think Coach Ateneo also,
yes,
si Charo Soriano. Pero looking as young as ever, no? Si Charo, parang estudyante pa rin.
Yun, nilihis sa blockers. Yes. That is excellent play.
Forcing the check ball. Again, shades of young Aiza Maizo. Pati yung estilo, pati yung bilis. Has emerged to be one of the top young players of the country right now. Itong si Jovelyn Gonzaga. And again, Kaylee Mans connecting. One thing nice about Mans is that she has already identified yung mga kasama niya na kayang magbigay ng kung anong kinakailangan ng pagkakataon. May Sue Roses, may Charo Soriano. Meron kanina si Moralde, pinuntahan niya yung trust factor. Importante kasi yan eh.
That goes over, still doesn't land in. And it's another point here for TMS-Army. Lamang na sila at 4-3.
That was a roundhouse left thrown by Jovelyn Gonzaga. A haymaker even kung ituturing mo sa laban ni MP at ni Brandon Rio sa linggo. Sensya ka na, excited na kasi ako eh.
And you can watch that fight only here on Solar Sports as well.
Excited na ako dahil ayon kay Pacman eh, pagkatapos siyang manalo, dadalawin niya mga taga-Tacloban.
Yun ang importante. Alam mo, nanggigigil na nga siya. Sabi niya, matagal na niyang gustong puntahan yung Tacloban. But unfortunately, he was deep in training. Exactly.
How many hours away from that fight on Sunday? Today is already a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Barely 96 hours to one of the biggest fights of Manny Pacquiao. This is to get back into the mainstream of the heroes of boxing.
I think that could make or really break his career.
Yes. He's lost 2 straight.
And Benting scores.
Oo, mabigat kasi yung huling pagkatalo niya kay Manuel Marquez talaga. Kailan ba natin nakitang nakahiga at nawalan ng ulirat ang ating pambansang kamao?
If you remember dropping down head first, here comes Dakis trying to score. Nice dig there by Yuki.
Well covered.
Likewise
again
by Pantone.
Parang si Mr. Deeds eh, no? Si Lizigata. Laging nandun. Very, very sneaky.
Yeah, tama. Yung kanyang butler. Let's check in now with Denise.
In any sport, defense is just as important as offense, if not more. Vico de Guzman reiterates how crucial the blocking department is for the Lady Troopers right now. Tina Salak also added that attacking does not mean you have to be near the net. You can do it at the service line. Salak reminded her teammates that giving the opponent an easy serve is just like giving them an easy point. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Scoring once again here is TMS-Army at lamang na po sila. PLDT won the first 2 sets. The first set quite handily. It was more of a challenge in the second, and right now they're slugging it out for the third. That's gonna go over.
Ang gigil si Savannah Noyes. Regalo sana pero pagpalo niya napunta sa sobrang giliran.
Manatikla papasok na naman, si Benting ang magpapahinga.
Yan na yung rotation ni Coach Roger, di ba? One of the more difficult things for coaches na hindi nakikita ng ating mga viewers. Of course, yung rotation mo. Meron kang Super 6 na tinatawag, pero minsan yung hugot. Dahil sa gagaling ng mga players mo, hindi pwedeng yung iba, nakaupo lamang talaga. And the quality of opposition here in the second conference is simply such na kailangan mo rin ang iyong second unit na tinatawag. And finally, TS Troopers, the Lady Troopers coming out in a tactical timeout na may hawak na kalamangan, Anthony.
Welcome back to the Inares Arena here in Pasig. Some of the players lending support. That was Michelle Carolino among others.
Well, this second conference comprises of 12 play dates extending to December 15, which will be the finals of the PSL Grand Prix. Right now, we are already in our 4th play date, opened last November 10. And since that time, TS-Army has strung up 2 consecutive wins, top in the leaderboard. Pero hindi natin pwedeng hindi banggitin na itong PLDT. Unbeaten din at 1-0. Sinusundan ng Cagayan at Signal na may 1-1 pareho. RC Cola 0-1 at ang Petron 0-2 right now. After 3 play dates, overset.
Well, coaches, allow me to correct myself. That was actually not Michelle. Michelle is actually still playing. That was Marietta Carolino, the sister, who is still in in the injured list. Nasa injury bay pa siya.
Oo nga. Siya yung tinitignan ko kanina dun sa nung nagbabayang magiling. Haba ng buhok eh.
Yeah, nag-iba.
Ah, hindi nakatali.
That's what you're used to seeing her play.
Yes,
Correct.
yes,
Exactly.
Kaya yung iba na hindi nagtatali ng buhok, maiksi yung mga buhok eh.
Kita mo si Charo Soriano, kailangan magtali ng
Tama,
buhok. Yan.
tama.
Pag hindi nagtali ng buhok, mahihirapan
Kaya
yan.
minsan hindi mo sila mamukaan pag nakalugay.
Correct. Rachel Andakis is another one. 9-8 is our score. Lamang ng isa ang koponan ng TMS-Army, but with the serve is PLDT. Joust. Man's winning that one. Dakis gets it across. Yuki now really contributing. And Peng still the missing link sa araw na to.
Continues to struggle. She just could not find the rhythm yet. Started in the first set when she was rejected time and time again by the net defenders of the Speed Boosters. Hindi niya nakuha yung buwelo eh, no? Tapos atakihin pa siya ng ganyan. Whoa!
Easy block that time para sa TMS-Army. And they still are up by a point. Quite easily scoring once again ang PLDT at tabla na po tayo. Banatikla serving. Gonzaga just gets to that. Oh, miscommunication again, and we've seen that happen time and time again para sa TMS-Army.
That will not get it done for the Lady Troopers. This is supposedly a very confident team heading into this match against a likewise undefeated team. But the way the PLDT squad has played, they've turned their Lady Troopers into a doubting unit. And although this is still a very close spread at 11-10, nakita mo hindi pa natural yung flow ng laro para dito sa Lady Troopers.
Well, after the thrashing that they took in the first set, medyo magdududa ka nga sa capabilities mo. At least for today. May mga araw na ganun eh.
Pag pumasok ang duda, yun ang mahirap ibsan.
We are tied at 11. Soriano will take a break. Guliman, the new player.
Mas Nika Guliman. Wala yata sa
Wow.
perp si Nika kung di ako nagkakamali eh. Mamaya patanong natin kay Denise Tan. Not really, I don't really remember. Pero ilang beses ko na na-cover si Nika eh. Nawala nga yung tangkad niya rito eh.
Quick set. Nabasa. Alarca also has been a missing link here today, Coach.
Yes. On offense. Well, you have to go back to the floor defense of the Lady Troopers. Hindi ka maka-receive, hindi ka maka-depensa, hindi ka makaka-atake. Tapos pag umatake sila, nasagot sila, hindi na sila maka-stop. Ganun kasimple yung storyline dito sa labanan ng Lady Troopers kontra sa PLDT in the first two sets. All the way dito sa extension ng third set at 13-11.
Pantones scrambles to get that. Roses goes
Wow.
down the line, runs out of space.
She wanted the line. Ano makita mo, hayop magbigay itong si Kaylee Mans. Ano? Alam niya, sa kalaki ng tiwala niya sa mga kasama niya. Jackie Alarca will try to equalize this serve. Score stands at 13-12. Coach Roger Gorayev understanding that itong itong Lady Troopers ay mahirap kalaban. Gusto niya idiin at dumiin ang kanyang koponan.
Let's check in with Denise.
Gorayev is irritated that the speed boosters are looking like they're relaxing and taking it easy on Team Army. He said that they have the advantage having won 2 sets and that his girls should not try to control their hits too much. Gorayev points out that it's better to hit the blocker's hands than for the ball going out or not going over at all. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Thanks, Denise. And right now, tabla na po tayo sa ating third set.
Did you see that adjustment by Sue Roses? Maruba na Dikla with the faulty reception. Hinabol, ginawa ng paraan. Pero, nung dumating kay Sue Roses, spotted na niya yung open area doon sa depensa. Alam na niya kung nasaan ang butas. That was a difficult cross-court angle na napakalalim.
Back set, Peng. Blocked. Here's Roses. Did he go back to her? Yes, they do. They keep that alive. Quick set.
Oh, good save.
That is sprayed long.
And that's the kind of effort that Coach Rico de Guzman would like to demand from his crew as the only way for them to be able to extract a set against a powerhouse offensive team like the Speed Boosters.
(15-14) Army on top by just a point. Noyes gets it all the way to the back line. Noyes is dug. Great point. Dakis. Roses. Yes.
Wow. I think Maruba Natikla had a very strong hand in that point by PLDT. Nililihis ng Army yung bola kay Lizzie Angata. But Manatikla making sure that they keep that ball alive. And Sue Roses with a very precise wind-up, scoring and tying this game here in set number 3 at 15 all. sama ng reception ni Yuki, was also not been able to play really well compared to the way she did. Maging itong si Peng doon sa kanilang huling panalo kontra sa Cagayan Lady Suns.
Back to the action here. Philippines Superliga Grand Prix. 9 attack points already for Sue Roses.
One of multiple attackers that Kaylee Mans has in her arsenal. Mans has delivered to Zane Roses, and even Savannah Noyes have really made it difficult for the floor defense of the Lady Troopers to respond. Although we have a very tight third set. Still, itong Lady Troopers are not giving up without a fight. 16-all on that point coming from Jovelyn Gonzaga. Ito ang closest set natin na nakita sa ating unang tatlong sets. First set 25-13, second set 25-20. Free ball na bitin para kay Sue Roses.
And Roses scores there.
Player number 3 winning the battle versus player number 13. Roses counting the steps of Rachel Landakis. Easily can say that shot was returned to sender.
Better reception. Cruz. Noise.
Pasok.
Wow.
Yung libero para sa koponan ni Coach Lico de Guzman. Nunag getting that second ball with Gonzaga. Saving that play forces Coach Roger Gurayev na mapakamot, manghinayang, mapangiti.
That was a beach volleyball move. Ito si Jovelyn Gonzaga. Gonzaga actually
Mula
plays
sa dulo,
for
no?
the national team para sa beach volleyball. We're tied at 17. Sino ang kakalas?
All the Lady Troopers need, I think, is a 2-point cushion. A 2-point cushion that can probably generate more confidence for them at this stage of the third set. But Kaylee Mans, once again, not only having eyes at the back of her head, pero very smart. Knows when to go for the dump. Savannah Noyes with that rocket. Kasi hindi naman sila singhirap dun sa first 2 sets na nakita natin. Ngayon nakakapit sila. If they can push themselves to be 2 points ahead at least in the next 3 points, in the next 3 rallies, maganda-ganda ang sitwasyon nila dito sa third set.
Good serve by Dakis. Ito na. Nakalamang na sila ng isa. Coach is stressing, make sure it goes in. He can ill afford a poor serve here. And kakasabi lang natin, it goes out and we're tied.
Tina-target na sila Tigay Kasi sila Tigay doon nakaapak sa dulo. So anything over that is already a faulty serve, which happened to Rachel Dakis. Maruma na tikla. The crucial serve for PLDT. Thought that was too long also.
That was close, but TMS-Army picks up the point here. Squeezing that through the defenders. 20-19 po ang ating score.
Nika Guliman was given 2 chances by Kaylee. Nika did not deliver. They will fall behind by 2 points. And this was the cushion na sinasabi natin could be vital for the Lady Troopers as they attempt to win 1 set laban dito sa PLDT.
Luan, wag mo lang bablak. Nandun na siya sa gitna Nandito na si Alarca pumapalo. Susundan mo pa siya dyan. Idadaplis-daplis pa sa'yo dito yung bola. Dito mo lang siya hayaan mo na siya dyan. Sabi ko sa inyo, pabayaan nyo. Pabayaan nyo hindi. Kunin nyo yung mga down the line dyan. Hayaan nyo siyang umispike dito Hinahabol mo pa ng hinahabol dito. Dadaplis lang Yan, Charo, balikan mo. Nika.
Charo Soriano is gonna come in.
When you're playing with Kaylee Mans, You always have to be ready when she calls your number. Kasi grabe ang tiwala niya sa mga kasama niya. She's a forward thinker who is about 2 steps ahead of what the other players are have in mind. But again, a faulty serve, this time coming from Tina Salak.
Back-to-back service errors. And that brings PLDT to within 1. They go to Peng. Roses scores, and we're tied at 21.
She saved that play and won that point for PLDT. The 2-point cushion has been erased. Kaylee Mans with a back set. Sue Roses deflating the 2 blockers. Ooh.
Again, a poor reception. Roses scores going cross court again.
Alam mo, marami magaling. Bihira yung magaling na, matalino pa. Sue Roses is one of them. Outstanding and smart, and that's why she has been at the top of her game for a very long time already. The volleyball scene dito sa ating local landscape.
Another poor reception.
Oh my.
Chance now for PLDT. Roses, bang!
They were down 21-19. 4 straight points brings them 2 points ahead at 23-21.
Suing for time. We have TMS-Army. This is their last breath. Back to the action here. Roses has been at the forefront of the attack. 2 points away from a 3 straight set victory for PLDT. Pero sabi ng Army, lalaban pa kami. But Suzanne Roses says no.
Sue Roses zooming her way towards the Lady Troopers. Down by 2 at 21-19. Now 3 points ahead and a point away from sweeping the challenge of the undefeated Lady Troopers.
Habol tayo. Tibayan lang natin receive. Tsaka coverage. Wala tayong coverage. Kailangan natin na receive. Wala tayong magandang receive na pinakita. So, di pa tapos. Kailangan pa. Sige pa. Receive pa.
3 points up. Wala tayong receive. Kaya ganyan yung nangyari.
Their backs are literally against the wall here.
Oh yes, standing on shaky ground are the Lady Troopers.
At namin talaga sabi ni Coach Rico, wala tayong pinakita na magandang reception sa buong araw na to.
Kung meron man, hindi tuloy-tuloy eh.
Ooh. One of the rare mistakes coming here from Mans. Well, it's a mistake they can still afford now in a better serve-receive position.
Not anymore.
Alarca's gotta get this in.
Ang layo ng buwelo ni Jackie.
And what did I just say? You know what? Not to take anything away from PLDT, myDSL. They played an excellent game. But obviously, not in their element, itong TMS-Army. This is not the TMS-Army I'm used to seeing.
And that's the primary reason why the Lady Troopers will suffer their first loss of the second conference and will bring the PLDT myDSL speed boosters to the top spot with a 2-0 winless card. Lady Troopers will be down at 2-1, safely in the second spot behind the PLDT speed boosters.
We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Three straight sets. Nanalo po ang koponan ng PLDT myDSL over TMS-Army. 25-13, 25-20. And the third set was the closest of them all, but still, nonetheless, wala talagang pinakita ng masyadong maganda ang TMS-Army sa araw na to.
Outworked, outplayed. Kaylee Mans winning the battle versus Tina Salak. But eventually, you also have Savannah Noyes who came out really big. Charo Soriano was the leader of this squad. But eventually, Anthony Suros has spearheaded that third set siege para dito sa PLDT DSL to be able to sweep the challenge of the Lady Troopers.
Let's turn over now to Denise.
All right, Gilligan's best player of the match is, of course, Sue Roses. Sue, before the start of the match, both Coach Roger and Luan Latigay said that you would have difficulties in your offense in terms of play variation. So how did you adjust?
Yun, habang tumatagal, sabi namin, kailangan maganda yung receiver. Kasi hindi kami makakagawa ng play. Kahit gaano kagaling yung setter namin, hindi kami makakagawa ng play. So, sabi namin kila Tatan, kay Sure, basta taas lang nila yung bola. Dahil si Kaylee naman, kayang-kaya niyang gawa ng paraan kahit medyo dikit sa net yung bola. So, yung sinwerte lang, halos lahat nung sinet sa akin ni Kaylee, napatay ko. Ayan.
Ayan, and since napatay mo nga lahat ng yon, you have a gift certificate from Gilligan's. Ayan. Ayan, so again, thank you, congratulations. Back to you, Anthony and Coach Ronnie.
Thanks a lot, Denise. Tama-tama. Diretso na siya sa pagkain.
Denise, hindi mo pinabati si Sue, ha?
Let's take a look at the leaders here dito sa ating kakatapos lang na laro.
At nakita natin dito yung kahusayan na pinakita ni Sue Roses leading the way in two departments. Of course, itong si Savannah Noyes still had that crucial impact. And on the other hand, para sa kabila, Jovelyn Gonzaga, probably the only stable and efficient player for Coach Rico de Guzman all game long. But it was enough to deflate this outstanding game brought in today by the Speed Boosters. And as a result, Sue Roses and Kaylee Mans and the rest of the Coach Roger Gorayev-led team will be on top of the leaderboard, staying unbeaten after 4 play dates.
It was a good first game. Stick around here because coming up next, it's going to be another good one. RC Cola Raiders laban po sa Cagayan Valley Lady Rising Suns. Next match at hand, RC Cola Raiders up against the Cagayan Valley Lady Rising Suns. Welcome back to the Linares Sports Arena here in Pasig City. Anthony Sutay still with Coach Ronnie Magsanok. And Coach, once again, great volleyball action coming your way. Ang ganda ng ating first game. Nakita natin pukpukan yung dalawang teams. And finally, one team already with a loss. Ito naman it looks like RC Cola wants to finally break into the win column.
And that's the reason why this matchup against Cagayan is interesting, because Cagayan wants to bounce back after losing dito sa TS-Army Lady Troopers in their last outing. On the other side, RC Cola looking to barge into the win column and improve their chances of looking for a spot in the quarterfinals. Of course, goes without saying that the top 2 spots already a cinch for the top 2 semi-seeds. Samantalang itong maiiwan ay maglalaban sa quarterfinals. At least gusto mo kumpiyansado ka, at least gusto mo makabuelo ka, at least gusto mo makapakita na competitive ang iyong koponan.
You know, Coach, what is the mindset of these teams? Both of them coming off a loss. Both of them want to be able to get back into their winning ways. And so, what do you have to be able to focus on really sa larong ito?
Well, number one, for coaches, you have to look at the numbers that happened in the games that games that you have lost. Para dito sa Cagayan, they won against Petron but lost to Philippine Army. Para naman sa kabunan ng RC Cola, they won the first set contra sa Army but lost the 3 consecutive sets. You look at your rotation, you look at where you suffered in terms of floor defense, you look at your net defense. Zhang Minhua is at the forefront of the offense of the RC Cola Raiders, but she cannot do it alone. After her, of course, Sontaya also delivered with 11 total points built on 11 attacks. But you also have to complement your offense with fine defense. Ivory Mulia also can contribute heavily in terms of offense, but it has to be a collective effort on the defensive end. And against a team that has been playing confident and was unbeaten heading into that spot, floor defense was tested for the RC Cola Raiders, and as a result, maski pumunto si Sontaya at itong si Zhang Minhua, the total of 27 points plus the 6 points of Ivy Remulla, it was not enough to stem the tide and tilt that game in their favor.
Well, I was actually looking across the court and I don't see Ivy Remulla, so she might not be here in action, and that's going to be a big loss as far as they're concerned dahil sabi mo nga, talagang kompleto na nga yung kanilang 1-2-3 punch, but still in the end, they still came up short dun sa kanilang unang laban.
Defense is an integral part in any campaign for all of these teams. You talk about the reinforcements that are massive, that are talented, but at the end of the day, it's all about the local support, generating the effort on defense to complement the explosive ways of the reinforcements that have come from as far as North America and have exceeded the Southeast Asia and also gone to East Asia na kung saan itong si Zhang Minhua ay nanggaling mula sa China.
Tama sabi mo because a lot of times the imports will cancel each other out. So yung mga local support talagang dun mo lang makikita kung talagang makakalaban yung iyong koponan. Tignan naman natin yung kabilang panig and let's see the kind of local support that they're getting. Obviously Cagayan is stuck also from top to bottom. Katulad dun yung dalawang teams na nakita natin kanina.
They had a fine blitz in their first outing versus Petron, but against TMS-Army, they fell in 4 sets. They won the first set but lost the 3 consecutive sets, or lost the 3 succeeding sets. Isa Maiso continues to play well for coach Nes Pamilar. Their 2 reinforcements from Thailand also scored heavily. Pachari Sangmuang and Juanita Kotruang. Unfortunately, like the Articola Raiders, their defense suffered, and that's why a rebound or a bounce-back performance today against the Articola Raiders is imperative as they try to drive their campaign to their second win in 3 outings.
Let's check it out with Denise and what she has.
Arsicola head coach Ronay Dulay said that despite their guest players putting in big numbers for the team, 2 players cannot win a game alone. He said that the blocking was there, but the passing wasn't. He is, however, hopeful, though, that they will have a better result in today's match. On the side of the Rising Suns, Coach Nes Pamilar said that the only problem they had during their last game was the lack of intensity the girls had after losing the first set. And so no special training was added into their routine, just a special reminder that aside from skills, the drive should be there as well. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Well, let's see if these 2 teams can finally break into the win column once again. Of course, Cagayan has already gotten. Yes, they have already gotten a win. Pero both these teams coming off a loss. And so importante nga sila makakuha ng panalo. And the game will come only here on Solar Sports in just a few minutes, right after this break. We got a pretty good sized crowd here inside the Inares Sports Arena. And why not? The PSL Grand Prix is here.
This is already the 4th play date of our 12 play date second conference. And the tagline, Elevate the Game, is exact. Ayon kay Dr. Ian Laurel, yan yung tangka nila kung bakit dalawang mahuhusay na reinforcements ang kanilang dinesisyonan na dalhin dito sa Metro Manila upang magsilbing imports for 6 of our ball clubs na kung saan yung husay at yung transfer ng technology ay posibleng maging bala ng ating mga manlalaro, not just to elevate the game but more so to push the development of the sports towards yung kung saan tayo naroroon dati. We used to be a Southeast Asian powerhouse, and hopefully with the influx of reinforcements coming in from the Southeast Asia, East Asia, and even the North America will be enough to help out our young players reach their maximum potential to place our country once again in the international level or international scale of the game of volleyball.
Sabi nga nila, it's all about building heroes, and obviously when you bring in all these great players from all around the world, talagang yung mga bata, meron sila mapapanood. At the same time, makakatulong din nga yun sa ating mga sinasabi mo, ating mga volleyball players. Because when they play against better competition, when they play with better competition, talaga naman gagaling at tumataas yung kanilang antas.
Totoo yan. At if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And ngayon, the best team so far after 4 play dates, or heading to our 4th play date, is the team of PLDT DSL, which earlier in our first game brought down the erstwhile unbeaten TMS Lady Troopers in 3 straight sets.
That was a very impressive showing as far as they were concerned. Ibang klase pinakita nila against a team that we talked about it during that particular game na wala pang ang talo. Ibang klase yung ginawa nila, especially in that first set.
There's no doubt that all of these teams will get better as the tournament goes deeper, simply because the cohesion will be built stronger, communication will be better. At yun ang isang bentahe ni Coach Roger dahil yung kanyang dalawang imports o reinforcements comes from North America, meaning English ang kanilang medium of communication. So madali-dali yan. But for the other coaches and the other teams, it will be a major challenge for them. Although, meron namang usual na palitan or sign language, pero iba na rin na nakakapag-usap kayo ng mas maayos at mas mabilis yung communication lines na pwedeng magawa base sa kinakailangan sa takbo ng laro.
Well, the respective teams will be having their photos taken right before this match. Part of the protocol para meron silang picture for posterity. And taking their turn with their official photo, yung Cagayan squad, and I do believe kakatapos lang ng RC Cola. No,
Yes,
RC Cola
yes.
will be having theirs, I think, right now.
Let's see if Ivy Remulle will be able to come in later in the game. But right now, Jill Gustillo, Jed Montero, and the rest of the RC Cola Raiders will be tasked to match up against the Rising Suns of Coach Nes Pamilar.
So tama na nga tayo.
Referee, Mr. Lindo Eusebio, national referee. Next is our second referee, Mr. Danilo Bongkinki, national referee. And now, let us meet your starting lineup for RC Cola Raiders, starting with number 4, Desian Montero. Number 5, Kaubundet Sontaya. Number 10, Bernice Ko. Number 3, Minghua Zhang. Number 11, Jermaine Velez. Number 14, Ren Aguero. Libero is number 6, Jill Gustillo. And head coach is Coach Ronald Dulay. Now, here are your starting lineup for the Cagayan Valley Rising Sun, starting with number 4, Pao Soriano. Number 1, April Jose. Number 8, and team captain, Aiza Maizo Fontillas. Number 14, Pachari Sangmuang. 15, Wyneth Eulalio. And number 17, Juanita Cotruang. Libero is number 13, Jen Reyes. And head coach is Coach Nes Pamilar.
Second match getting underway here. Cagayan Valley up against RC Cola. Both teams, once again, we reiterate, coming off a loss.
Itong Cagayan, nanalo sa Petron, natalo sa TMS-Army. RC Cola, natalo rin sa TMS-Army na kanina tinalo na sa kauna-unahang pagkakataon near the second conference ng koponan ng PLDT myDSL Speed Boosters.
And there's Zhang. Trying to start things off on a positive note for RC Cola.
Nice communication on the bat for the Suns.
Aiza Maizo didn't even move.
Very rare for Jen Reyes not to react. Two straight points. Two straight easy points for the Raiders.
Sang Muang. Let's see if they go right back to her. Get it over. Close to the net. That's going to be danger. Sang Muang again. Yes, she's on the board.
That's a very small front row para dito sa kupunan ng Raiders. Sang Muang just had that tip to score the first point.
And in stark comparison to what we saw in our first game when you had the two American imports.
Yes, at she just walked behind us earlier, Savannah Noyes. Paano ko nakita? Kasi tangkad eh.
Tapos itong likuran natin, may konting agwat pa sa atin. So, mas lalo pa siya naging 7-footer siya tuloy.
At the very least. 2-all talaan here in the first set. I was reading earlier an article written by Noel Zarate, also one of the anchors here in the PSL. At ayon sa kanya, Judy Caballero, Rhea de Maculanga, Mike Ortiz at Joy Cases at Wendy Simana should have been a part of the lineup of the RC Cola Raiders. Unfortunately, hindi sila napayagan ng kanilang mother unit, ng Armed Forces of the Philippines, dahil nakafocus sa AFP Little Olympics. At yan ang dahilan kung bakit this is a different roster for Coach Ronald Dulay. Imagine the kind of roster power na meron sana itong RC Cola sa kanilang initial campaign dito sa ating PSL Grand Prix.
Yun talaga yung nagkulang. Yung binanggit nga natin kanina, yung kanilang local support, and obviously those names you just mentioned, those are great players that really would have been able to add to the power unit na dinadala nitong kanilang dalawang imports.
There are 3 players coming from the Lady Maroons in the lineup of Coach Ronald Dulay, but for Coach Nes Pamilar, that is not his problem. His problem right now is to motivate his players to be able to come out with a lot of effort. Ayon sa report kanina ng Dinistan, nakulangan sila ng effort in that last loss laban sa TMS Lady Troopers. At para kay Aiza Maiso, enough is enough. Down by 2, now ahead by 1 laban sa RC Cola. Was not even close for the Raiders. At itong koponan ng Cagayan has won 5 of the last 6 points. Kaya ngayon, kanina sila ay blanco. Ngayon, 2 ang kanilang abante.
Pero tinutulungan din sila ng Cagayan dito.
Kanina merong ace itong koponan ng RC Raiders. Ngayon naman ay merong service error na naging regalo na handog para dito sa RC.
And there's another one. Cotrowang's not gonna get to this. It's another point and we are tied at 5. Let's check in with Denise.
According to Coach Dulay, in their last game, there was an evident lack of variation in place, and this was due to the lack of training. He is, however, confident, he said, now that they had more time to regroup and execute more plays in their practice sessions. Aside from that, Dulay is also expecting a lot from Bernice Ko, a former UST standout who is about to play in her first game today. Ko, he said, would be a great addition to their defense and offense. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Tama yan, Denise. Pareho kayo ng pinanggalingang eskwelahan, pero maliban dyan, talaga namang mahusay naman lalaro itong si Bernice Ko. Right now, yan ang hinahanap ni Coach Ronald Dulay as a shot in the arm for the Raiders.
Wow. And there's a shot from Soriano.
Problema rito, net defense para sa RC Cola, lalong-lalo na wala si Ivy Remulla in their the sidelines. Normally starter yang si Ivy.
Not to mention she being one of the leaders and also one of the taller players on that squad.
Jill Bustillo used to play for the Adamson Lady Falcons. Now will be tasked to contain the tough attackers ng Cagayan Rising Suns.
Angueta Paquero, look at the numbers that she gave to her team last season. 81 spikes, 8 blocks.
One of the leading scorers in the first conference of the PSL. Petron eventually finished in the 3rd spot, beating Cagayan, did not fight for a 3rd, but they fell short in the semifinal battle, losing to Signal 3 sets to nothing. Angge Tabacero still continues to be one of the top players in the country. Nagpapagaling pa si Angge. At umaasa na itong Cagayan will be able to keep their heads above water in their campaign to solidify their hold on the second spot o tumabla sa second spot with the TMS-Army.
On the outside, Cotruang. First opportunity, and she buries that one.
She was very impressive against Petron. 12 points plus 8 digs. Cotruang also scored 13 points, built on 12 attack points, but was only 12 of 54 as she was deflated by the tough net defense of TMS Lady Troopers.
Out of the reach of Reyes.
You know how efficient Jen Reyes is. But here in the first set, makita mo parang mabagal ang simula. Itong si Jen Reyes.
Cotruang with a lot of spin. Another point here para sa RC Cola. They're hanging in there.
And not a good dig once again coming from Jen Reyes. And that gave a regalo of a shot dito kay Zhang Minghua rather.
Soriano, Doug. And Zhang scores, and we are tied at 10.
Problems para sa Rising Suns. They've gotten Zhang going, and as a result, they were on top by 4. Now we have a deadlock at 10 all.
Poor reception, but a chance here for Cagayan. Cotruang takes another one down.
Maraming attackers si April Jose. 4 ang pwedeng pumalo para sa kanya. Let's see kung kanino niya titimplahin. Pau Soriano on deck for the first time.
Zhang scores again. She's got 3.
And so far, there have been holes in on the floor defense of the Rising Suns. Primary reason why RC Cola is able to keep in step with the Suns.
Going outside, Cotruang again. Quick set, Eulalio.
If I'm not mistaken, Eulalio played for the Lady Tamaraos of also Coach Nes Pamilar. Pati si Wendy Simana, naglaro din yan sa FE, although wala nga siya ngayon sa roster ng ating second conference na Binansagan Grand Prix. Good save.
Go outside, Sang Muang. Not too much power, but very accurate.
That's a lot of power.
Maizo doesn't get that through.
Yes, from the back row will not get it done. It was Sontaya for that attack coming from RC Cola before that mistake coming from Aiza Maizo. Makita mo yung Zhang Minghua, ginanahan eh.
As you said, that can spell trouble. And
again,
another service reception error here.
Reception problems para dito sa Cagayan.
From the back row, Cotruang scores.
Cotruang has been the focal point of April Joses. Nice setups. Pero kailangan nila ma-involve din itong kanilang mga attackers dahil kung makikita mo, masipag itong depensa ng RC Cola.
Do they go to Sontaya? Yes, they do. And she sends that long. No. It was tipped.
Inabol ni Cotruang. That ball was clearly out. But that touched the arm of Cotruang. The Petit Aguero on deck to serve para dito sa Raiders.
And she sends it long. Normally, yung size ni Aguero, pang ano yan eh, pang libero, ano?
Pero power hitter yan, saka matalino maglaro.
Oh, boy, that was out.
That was clearly out.
So far, it's been a sloppy point. And it ends in a sloppy shot.
This is not the usual rhythm for the Rising Suns. Floor defense, spotty. They can't even get into their normal attack mode. Has been only Cotruang was been solid in terms of offense, and Pau Soriano for that matter para dito sa Cagayan.
Soriano can't get her over.
They fall behind by 2 at 16-14, heading into the second technical timeout.
Welcome back to Pasig for the PSL Grand Prix. Let's check in with Denise.
Intensity should not just be on the net, but also at the service line. Coach Pamilar wants the Rising Suns to attack every chance they get. He points out that the service is the easiest point to get, and they should take advantage every time they're on the line. He also instructed his girls to target Zhang Minghua. Other than that, Pamilar is pretty happy with how his team is playing. Anthony and Coach Ronnie.
Thanks, Denise.
Ang nangyayari, parang naka-backpedal mode ang Cagayan instead of attack mode. And right now, they're left to fend and defend instead of being able to receive and attack. Up by 2 now, behind by 3. Confidence bank of RC Cola Raiders continues to flow. Nasa result, kung kanina shaky sila, ngayon naman happy sila.
Sang Muang is dug. Maizo gets that in finally para sa Cagayan, and that's a breath of fresh air.
Well timed by Aiza Maizo. Former UAAP MVP. Looking to give Coach Nes Pamilar his first title here in the PSL.
Sontaya is blocked. Cotruang was there together with Soriano.
A two-man wall combining, but it was Cotruang who rejected that Sontaya attack. Look at this last sequence. Good set coming from Aguero, but well deflected and defended by Cotruang.
Gustila lets that sail long. Napakarami ng mga regalo.
Oh, Sang Muang at 35 still looks very youthful, ano? Iba talaga pag condition ka eh. That is a youthful athlete who is excellent, especially here sa kanyang stint with Cagayan. I think Cotruang is only 21 years old, but the way she plays, ang maganda rin sa kanya, nakalaro na siya dito dati eh. So she's quite familiar with the opposition as Dawi sees action for the first time.
Together with
Aiza
Benito.
Maizo, with Joy Benito. Who seems to be the designated server right now for Coach Nes Pamilar.
Poor serve again. They've had so many of that here in the first set.
That will not help their cause as they try to chase down the Raiders here in the first set.
Reyes can't get to that and control it. It's another point, and now RC Cola up by 3.
Floor defense of the Rising Suns continues to pose a huge problem para dito kay Coach Nes Pamilar.
And RC Cola showing the way here in the first.
4 points ahead and 4 points away from taking the first set. Forces Coach Nes Pamilar to call timeout.
Masyado kayong buka-buka ho. Tingnan nyo naman paano kayo makaka-receive. Dadalawa na lang kayo nandyan halos. Sa kababa kayo lahat dito. Ha? Tulong Lucet, bumatras ka rito. Tumulong ka dyan. Ayaw mo bumaba yung dalawa. Ha? Receive muna kayo. Wala ang gulo ng galaw. Hindi kasi kayo nag-uusap-usap. Ano nyo magtulong-tulong? Mag-uusap kayo dyan kung saan kayo pupwesto.
Well, you can hear the frustration there On the voice of Coach Ness.
Operative word for Coach Ness is communication. Kotruang delivering, Kotruang efficient, but their defense has been left so much wanting.
At saka problema dun, siya lang yung lone bright spot.
Probably si Maiso nakatulong at si Pau Soriano, pero manaka-naka eh. Too close to the net. Nakita mo yung athleticism ni Kotruang, ano? Nilipad ng offhand, tapos pumreno. But that still continues to be a violation. Quite a comfortable advantage at this stage of the first set for the RC Cola Raiders. Easily can say that they jumped the gun on the Rising Suns, raiding the confidence level of Cagayan, na nasa result namumuro dito ang RC Cola.
Great serve there by Ko.
Always steady. Itong si Bernice Ko.
It's a 6-point advantage here.
This is a reprise on how RC Cola started out that game against TMS-Army, wherein they beat TMS-Army in the first set at 25-19. Kotruang comes out with a mighty attack point.
Nilabas niya lahat ng kanyang frustration dun.
It's necessary for Cagayan to play almost perfect volleyball in the next 5 points to be able to fight back and save this set.
Now the timeout will be called. Well, you're not going to be able to bring your timeouts to the second set, so might as well call it.
Ano gawin nyo dyan kung ganyan lang ilalaro nyo? Diyan rumisip ka. Sabi sa kahapon ko pa sinasabi, pag first ball, huwag mo mamadali ng kuha ng bola. Ay, umover na naman. Di ba? Kasi minamadali mo, angat mo lang na ganyan para iset. Andito yung maliit na blocker, dito mo padaan ng padaan. Kausapin nyo. Ayaw nyo magsalita eh.
Communication still is the emphasis of Coach Ness Pamilar. Pero sabi nga natin, minsan yung communication lines, medyo spotty. Dahil, syempre, may communication problems talaga eh. Unless marunong ka mag-Thai or they can speak English.
But all the instructions were in Tagalog. Point will be given here. So buhay pa ang koponan ng Cagayan Valley here in the first.
In comes Gis Gustilo, will act as the libero. Bernisco, an impact player right now for Coach Ronald Dulay. 5-set points in the first set para dito sa koponan ng RC Cola Raiders.
And I'm quite surprised that there's going to be a timeout here, pero si Coach Dulay not leaving anything to chance.
Rito, kati natin dito si Ming. Tapos si Son dito papaluin. Son! Tayo, here? Here. Here. Here, here. Oh, here. Here. Ito, tapos dito.
As you said, it's the sign language more than anything else.
The important thing is they're reaching out. Number two, the players or the athletes are responding. Coach Ronald Dulay directing his questions straight dito kay Son Taya. Sabi niya, Son, are you here? Then he was corrected. At ngayon, the timeout was called precisely because they want to attack and finish off this. First set, but Bernisco took her eyes off the ball. Cagayan saves 1 set point. Still 4 set points available para dito sa RC Cola. Cagayan saves 2 set points.
Ayaw nila mag 4 sets, If RC Cola, I think, loses this point, Coach Dulay calls another timeout. But they go to Zhang. On the outside, Samwang scores again.
They save 3 set points. Putting pressure on this reception by the Raiders.
And he finally does push the timeout button. 24-22 is where it stands. Isa na lang ang kailangan ng RC Cola para makuha yung first set. Can they get it?
RC Cola says one stop. Cagayan, on the other hand, wants another point to put extreme pressure on the Raiders, who are attempting to close out this first set.
Poor reception.
4 set points saved by this Cotruang serve. Wala nang timeout dito ang RC Cola.
Oh, they finally get it.
Zhang Minhua closes out the first set. If you flirt with danger, sometimes you get burned. And that is exactly what transpired in the first set for Cagayan, who we thought is the highly favored team heading to this battle. But now they're behind by 1 set laban dito sa RC Cola.
This was the action in set number 1 as we take a look at the numbers.
Definitely, Cagayan had the upper hand in terms of attacks, but the defense of RC Cola was much better than the Rising Suns, and as a result, even with that early lead by Cagayan, RC Cola was able to rally and win that first set by 2 points at 25-23.
Couple of mistakes made it close. That was at 24-23, and Zhang finally coming up with a final point, getting and bagging for her and her team set number 1.
Well, let's see if Cagayan, to be led by Cotruang, will be able to come out with more spunk here in set number 2. Makita mo, lethargic sila, mabagal sa rotation, hindi masyadong malutong yung kanilang mga palo. At yun ang kinargahan ng gusto. Ginawang bala ng RC Cola, lalong-lalo na si Zhang Minhua.
I have a strong feeling we're going to see a different Cagayan team here in the second set.
They have to wake up early because buhay na ang kumpiyansa ng RC Cola.
But I've got to remind myself, I said the same thing a while ago in our first game.
Yeah.
And the team that was 2-0 actually didn't really come to play. Sontaya. Cotruang from the back. They go back to Sontaya, and just not enough elevation that time.
Good protection. The net defense was present, and then the support from the back row also stepped up to the plate. April Jose looking for a better set, looking for a better performance here in the second set para dito sa Cagayan.
That was a great kill from the back, and Zhang with a terrific angle.
Miscommunication between Reyes and April Jose puts Raiders on the board. And again, service error by Guerrero, reminiscent of her last service error that transpired in the first set. They fall behind at 3-1 here in set number 2.
Poor set that goes over.
And now the points are much shorter compared to the longer rallies that we saw in set number 1. Now Cagayan able to kill the point right away in their favor. This is more like it para sa Rising Suns. Kasamang Anthony, this is the kind of team that we know that Cagayan is capable of, or the kind of performance rather that Cagayan is capable of. Probably they sense danger after dropping the first set at 25-23.
Well, that was a big wake-up call. Let's check in with Denise.
During the last few points of the first and before the start of the second set, I only heard 3 things from Coach Pamilar. It was usap, usap and usap. Pamilar reminded the Rising Suns that the reason why they're not executing their plays and blocking properly is because of the lack of communication. He said it doesn't matter how long you've played together, sometimes you really have to talk to each other. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Pag in English mo yung sinabi ni Denise, talk, talk, talk. Usap, usap, usap. Sabi ni Denise, at pagkatapos sila mag-usap, lamang na sila 6-1 here in the second set.
Yes, sino nandito? Si Bernice? O matras ka rito. Son, stay here. Okay, receive. Okay? Ming, receive. Jill, receive. Kicker, nasan ka? Dito ka dulo, dito. O yan, o. Son, out. Okay? Tapos ito, pakwikin mo na naman. Ito, si Bernice, pa-receive mo lang muna. I-break lang muna natin yan. Ma-break lang muna natin. Isang break lang yan, labas. Son, stay here. No receive. Go out. Then attack. Okay, don't stop.
Coach Ronald Dulay drawing up an instant play, anchored of course on Santaya. But they need a good reception to finally break this scoring groove generated by the defense of, or the serve rather, of Eulalio.
From the back, Zhang.
The power that Zhang generates is without question one of the strongest dito sa kabuuan ng PSL. Ang lakas pumalo talaga eh.
Saka hindi siya masyado gumagalaw,
Naabangan lang niya, no? Joust. That went in Isamice's favor. Akala mo madali, masakit sa likod yan, Kaya kailangan i-tilt mo yung katawan mo, Kasi may puwersa,
And you need that upper body strength.
Tama. Kasi tulakan yan,
Santaya lets that drop, and it's a point once again here for their squad.
And easily can identify that Zhang Minwas is the biggest thorn in the floor defense of the Rising Suns. And let's see if Genres will be able to defend much better here in the second set as Santaya delivers that serve. Cotroang has been steady since set number 1. They're on top by 5 heading to this first technical timeout.
Look at this, total excellent sets. Aguero with 8, April Jose with 12. They can't get it to Aguero, and nothing Zhang can do with that one.
Alam mo, pinunto mo kanina, she's not really moving before she attacks. So kailangan flat talaga yung setup sa kanya kasi hindi naman siya mobile dahil stocky siya. Pero pag binigay mo sa sweet spot niya,
patay.
Todas ang depensa. Tulad yan.
Bang!
Kita mo, eksakto yung bigay ni Aguero. Pero pag pinakilos mo siya, hindi siya makabalanse ng maayos. Kumbaga sa baseball, pagpalo, home run.
Eksakto.
Outside the park.
Walang kaduda-duda. That'll go out. Zhang was thinking of touching it.
Yes, pero itong si Cotroang, no? Yung mga angles na kinukuha niya, may hirap. Risk taker,
High risk, high reward.
Yes, why not?
Yun mo to si Zhang when she's up at the net. Konti lang din yung kanyang talon, pero napaka-effective na.
Bernisco has been a game changer for the RC Cola Raiders. First outing for his former UST player, accounting for a lot of positives para dito kay Coach Ronald Dulay.
Cotroang again pushing it to the back. One-man block, and Soriano will not be up to the task.
Score stood at 9-4 earlier. Now the Raiders have climbed to 7 points.
Medyo matagal na hindi nakakagalaw itong kupunan ng Cagayan.
Miscommunication happening once again. Time and again for Cagayan. Their floor defense once again suffered. As a result, they're only on top by 1.
Sabi nga sa'yo, sabihan mo, tingnan mo. Gano'ng kaliit na yung bablock dito, papalo mo na. Sabihan mo siya, you spike here, okay? Straight, okay? Diagonal, no? Okay? Tapos, nandito yung malaki. Dito mo papapakatin si Pau. Andiyan yung malaking blocker eh. Dito mo siya papakatin para ang palo niya pag ganun, tumama man sa kamay ng blocker, padulas. Isip tayo, isip.
Clear as day from Coach Nes Pamilar. Purpose and direction is important at this stage of the second set para dito sa Cagayan.
And you see, he was very direct to Cotroang because he wanted to make sure that yung kanyang lone bright spot sa araw na to hindi na magkakamali.
It's a different perspective when you're on the sidelines. You see the bigger picture. Sabi ni Coach, direct ang palo.
Ayun na nga yung ginagawa niya. Oh. Down the line ulit. Bang!
Sapak.
That one with a lot of spin. Zhang also with spin.
Oh my. 5 straight points para sa Raiders. The RC Cola playing like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Searching and finding the answers to climb out of that 5-point hole. That was a timely ceasefire called by Coach Ronald Dulay earlier.
Especially after that poor showing, poor start here to the second. Buhay pa.
Too close. Sontayas defended really well here para sa RC.
Bit of luck. Cotroang trying to dunk it through. The crowd finally into this one. Zhang! Yes!
It was Sontaya all the way in terms of defense for the Raiders. Down 9-4, now on top 10, 9-6.
And
hard-earned points para sa RC Cola.
Grabe, that has brought the crowd on its feet.
That's
here.
the longest rally of this match so far.
Longest
Trabaho.
rally of the day.
Oh, yes. That is the quickest point para sa Cagayan.
At yan ang sinasabi ng Cagayan. Yan ang kailangan gawin natin para mapanalo to. That's why they got off to a very good start.
And April Jose will be tasked to be more precise sa kanyang mga pasa para sa kanyang mga kakampi. Down the line serve coming from Pau.
Sa out of the reach of Gustilo.
Katulad niyan, pipiliin mo yung bibigyan mo kung anong klaseng palo ang specialty. Middle hitter, open hitters, kailangan ngayon itong si April Jose to be able to just equalize. They're down by a set. Laban dito sa RC Cola.
From the back, Sontaya. From the back, Soriano, actually Maizo. And she is red and blocked.
Excellent outing. Excellent game para dito kay Zhang. Moving better. Helping out on defense.
That's off the antenna. And you see that time, Cotroang might have been better served going cross-court. Pero siguro naalala niya yung sinasabi ni Coach.
She is definitely a good soldier. May antenna wala. Down the line ako, sabi ni Coach.
Hanggang palitan niya yung tawag, ha?
So wala nang read doon si Cotroang. Naka-tunnel vision na siya ron. It's a nice shot of Coach Ronald Dulay. Closely watching his team battle from a 5-point hole.
Violation will be called.
Eulalio has played well here in the second set, and April Jose has gone to her numerous times in the last few rallies. And she has delivered.
Look at the serve from Cotroang.
Ayan, diagonal yan. Gusto ni Coach Ness, direct.
Diagonal.
Down the line.
No.
Diagonal, no. Direct only.
That's gonna go out as
Ayan,
well.
down the line.
No.
Ano ba talaga?
Pero si Zhang naman yun sa kabila eh.
Ang lakas pumalo, kinanti lang eh.
Grabe.
Binant lang eh.
Ang layo and still with so much power and pace. Sontaya.
Ayan, diagonal yan. That is a line drive, a cross-court line drive coming from Sontaya, who has been an anchor, a fulcrum on defense even, para dito sa RC Cola Raiders. Ang hirap ng angulo.
Hindi naman kasi siya yung pinagbabawalan eh. Si Kotruwang doon sa kabila eh.
I'm sorry. Aguero spraying her serves all over.
Aguero
Normally,
has
ang husay niya.
struggled. Yes. One of the most consistent servers.
Yung flat niya na biglang bababa. Parang curveball yan eh.
But it's not working here today. 15-14. Cagayan up by a piece. Zhang squeezes it through. At tabla na naman tayo.
And Aguero serves Zhang Minghua really well. Time and again, she's been able to locate this lumbering giant. Gentle giant eh, no?
Gentle talaga.
Bait ng mukha eh. Maiza says enough is enough.
And Cagayan Valley will get to our second technical timeout, ahead by 1 as we take a break. There's Zhang. She has been a power offensively and defensively.
And the two reinforcements of the Raiders continues to spearhead this campaign of the Raiders and their counterparts from Thailand, trying to level up as the Raiders have posted a one-set advantage laban dito sa much favored team ng Cagayan Lady Suns. Rotation problem, rotation error, rotation fault, rotation infraction nangyari para dito sa Raiders. 17-15. Talaan para sa Cagayan.
Mental error there coming from RC Cola.
Call stands after the check by our umpire. Regalo para sa Cagayan.
Kotruwang still continuing to go down the line. And Soriano scores.
Pao Soriano has always been a tough attacker to handle. Even when she was still playing for the Adamson Lady Falcons under Coach Dulce Pante, mahirap tapatan. Matulis, malakas, matindi pumalo. Well timed. Kanina pa pinapaalala ni Coach Nes Pamela na ilihis ni April Jose yung mga pasa niya kung saan nakapwesto yung mga blockers. And this time around, peripheral vision by April Jose. Perfect. Serving Aiza Maiso, who brings them 4 points ahead. Serve.
Good reception by Zhang.
Yes. Now this is 5 points clear of the Raiders.
Biglang kumalas na tong kabila.
Kanina naman nakakalas na sila eh. Nakakinta na sila eh dun sa umpisa, pero kumbaga nag-pit stop eh ng mahaba.
And let's have our own pit stop, checking in with Denise.
Ronald Dulay was very specific in instructing the Raiders on how they should position themselves in their blocking and block coverage, recognizing the fact that even though they have a taller lineup, the ball can always go over the net. He said that it's not enough for the blockers to put a stop on the attack, but the receivers should also be there to support them. The setter Aguero was also instructed to execute more plays, especially now that Cagayan's front line is much smaller than theirs. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Thanks, Denise. Let's listen in.
Sama-samahin. Oh, kasi bigyan na muna sa konti rito last sector. Nason, stay here. Receive. Huwag ka na stay doon. Dito ka naman galing. Dalawa na kayo dyan. Dito ka na. Wala na.
Alright. right now, Coach Ronald Dula and the Raiders under siege late here in the second set. If you remember correctly, it was a different scenario that tilted in their favor dun sa first set kung saan pero silang hawak na 5 set points. Nakain yung 4 but eventually they protected the final one to get that first set.
Velez there with a reception mistake. And the lead is extended to 7.
Nakain niya yung space nitong si Zhang Minhua doon sa last attempted reception.
Zhang from the back. Soriano finds a spot.
And she's a leaper and her timing is excellent. Now this is not an attack but instead a tip. And that free zone area, 8 points ahead and 2 points away from tying this match at 1 set apiece. Alam mo, maski nagkamali sila ron, at least better ang net defense nila. Doon sa first set, maraming beses silang nabutasan eh. But ngayon, Cotroang and Pau Soriano working as a tandem, protecting that attack, pero hindi nga nila nagawa ng tama.
And again, Cotroang this time goes cross-court.
Still cross-court, but this time
Finding
off
a spot.
speed, yes. Hindi niya dinaan sa lakas, dinaan niya sa basa. Tama ang kanyang basa. At ngayon, 1 point away. And they do close out this second set at 24-16.
A late surge helping Cagayan Valley. And now they have tied things up at 1 set apiece. Cagayan Valley finally flexing the muscles expected of them, coming up with a convincing second set victory here.
Continues to have that advantage in terms of attack points. But if there's something that improved big time doon sa ating second set, yung floor defense nila, maging yung kanilang net defense. At higit dyan, mas naging maraming katuwang itong si Cotroang na pumupuntos para sa Rising Suns. But if there's a glue player para dito sa Cagayan, it has to be April Jose. Serving Pau Soriano, helping Aiza Maiso, and generating attack points, especially from Cotroang.
Nice stretch. Point is still alive. Suntaya tries to score. Violation is going to be called. You can go around the referee but not through and under the net.
Well, maganda tignan pero hindi pwede.
Well, ang nireklamo ni Coach Dulay, sabi niya medyo matagal naman yung reaction. The moment
Maganda
you see the
kasi
player make
lahat nga napatingin eh.
make contact.
Pwede ba yun?
Quick set doesn't work.
Hilalio was at the top of her game in set 2. April Jose going to her early here in set 3. They fall behind at 2-0 here in the third set. Baba. But they still score. Hilalio punching that ball. Score for Cagayan. I thought that was a very low set given by April Jose for Hilalio, but somehow Hilalio able to manufacture a point for the Suns.
We were given some numbers here. There's only been one local player that has scored para sa koponan ng RC Cola, and that's Velez. It has been the imports literally carrying the cudgels.
And that's why it should be easier to defend para dito sa Cagayan, but somehow it has been a difficult grind for them laban sa RC Cola.
Maizo.
Oh, Soriano got a brief rest. Now back in the front line. That's a 3-tower front line para dito sa koponan ng Cagayan.
Tama. Get it with a set. Zhang gets it through.
Went to the same zone, went to the same angle. And finally, they were rewarded. They're still ahead by 2 at 4-2. Let's see if Aguero will be able to be successful.
You beat me. I was
Sa kanyang
wondering.
pag-serve.
Exactly. The same thing crossed my mind. It's not her day.
Too much fizz sa kanyang drink.
Bawasan.
Nakapagtaka, no? Usay pumalo yan sa pag-serve, eh.
From the back row, Sontaya. She's dug. They go to Zhang, and Zhang sends that wide. Let's check in with Denise.
It's not only knowing what your opponent's strengths are, it's also about knowing their weaknesses. Pamilar wants the Rising Suns to not just play, but also observe the Raiders inside the court. That, he said, would be the crucial factor in deciding whether they should hit it or dink it, whether they should serve long or short, or whether they will win or lose. Guys?
Well, they've got to make that adjustment as quick as they possibly can. It does not really work their way all day. It did in the second set. And they're not doing well again defensively.
Reyes not able to get to that point. Nobody receiving. RC scoring. The Raiders ahead by 1 at 5-4. Itong RC Cola na to, ikinalakihan ko to.
Tama yun.
Itong Cagayan Valley, kung di ako nagkakamali, nandito yata yung Tugigaraw, eh, no? Yung Tugigaraw ito, narating ko to this year at narating ko rin siya via Patapat Road. Pagkagaling mo sa Ilocos Norte.
Hindi pa ako nakakarating doon.
It's a long drive. The Patapat Viaduct, a lovely, lovely stretch of well-built roads. And then to the left are the resorts na kung saan yung tinatawag na Pagudpud ay located. Tapos pagtawid mo, may isang tulay na winding. Pasok ka na ng Cagayan Valley. Pero yung stretch na yun, grabe yung beach, grabe yung sun. Doon makikita talaga yung beauty ng Ilocos Norte. Tapos yung Boyador Lighthouse at yung Bangi Windmills. Ay madadaanan mo ron sa stretch na yan.
And now you want me to go take a vacation.
Wag
Hindi
muna,
pa tayo
tapusin
pwede
muna natin
magbakasyon.
to.
Sige, pwede muna. But we will take a quick break here as we get to our first technical timeout of set number 3. The action is starting to heat up here inside the Inares Center along Shaw Boulevard in Pasig. Battle between RC Cola and Cagayan Valley. Cagayan Valley lost the first, won the second, and right now they are ahead by 4 points here in the third. Make that 2 points. Soriano tries to find a seam and gets a point.
Santaya used her offhand to deflect the tip by Pau Soriano. That disallowed the protect from the back row to be able to dig, keep that ball alive.
Good reception. They go to Ko. On the other side, there's going to be a violation called. And RC Cola stays within 2. Call with a serve. Cotroang was there. Ilala just had to get it over. From the back, Maizo.
Excellent. Well read by Cotroang. One tall blocker, one short blocker, went down the line, tipping that ball just over the blockers. Let's look at that sequence. Dinala niya kay Aguero, the shorter blocker. Oops.
Well, they're saying it's a wrong server.
Lucky break para dito sa Cagayan kasi faulty na yung serve kanina na Katruwang. Coach Nes Pamilar rising from his seat, but instead he wants the Suns to rise up to the occasion as they've been challenged heartily by the power of the reinforcements ng Raiders. Sabi mo nga kanina, tanging isang puntos pa lamang from a local player, Zhang Minhua and Sontaya, creating havoc on the defense of the Suns.
Literally 1-2 punch lang yung nangyayari sa RC Cola.
Tandem. Riding in tandem. Itong RC Cola.
And it stops there.
Oo.
But still, they were
Pero
able to come up with
dumidepensa
that.
yung ano, yung
true.
locals.
That is true.
Diba? Tumatrabaho at si Aguero maski shaky sa kanyang pag-serve, solid ang kanyang pag-set. Rotation problem once again.
And that's happened 3 times already here for RC Cola.
Communication is vital in any sport. At yung mga puntos na yan, mahalaga. Lalong-lalo na itong RC Cola, kailangan makabangon sa kanilang kinalalagyan. We're behind by 4 at 12-8 here in set number 3.
Whoa! That was a gimme. And she gave it right back.
Should have been a gift for Eulalio. Wrongly directed. They will pay. Lead slice to 3. Sontaya is on deck to serve.
Maizo thought the point was won. Sangwang goes down the line.
Sangwang has been extremely busy with their floor defense, digging, saving plays, keeping balls alive. But now down the line winner coming from Sangwang pushes the Rising Suns 4 points ahead of the Raiders. That's a wall. The Rising Suns battered as the attack point will go in para dito sa RC Cola. Zhang once again scoring with the power, tilting the arm of Pau Soriano, giving the gap, enabling Zhang to score.
Out of the reach of Sangwang.
Off speed coming from Zhang. Some hang time para dito kay Minghua. Nilihis laban sa dalawang blockers.
That's going to go long. You know, we have yet to see De Los Santos, who was actually very, very instrumental in that first game that they had.
No questions, she is a top-notch player for Coach Mes Pamilar.
Even si Joy Benito, we've seen her just for a little bit. Mistake there from Maizo.
A mishandle coming from Aiza Maizo will allow the Raiders to hang tough. Di mo maiwan, ano?
It looked like they had a pretty handy advantage, and now they just lost it. Soriano just sneaking that past the blockers. 15-12.
Umuupo sa ere to si Pau Kaya nakakapili siya kung anong kanyang didesisyonan. Dalawang regalo given by the Raiders and suddenly lead climbing to 4 points for the Rising Suns.
Back to the action as we take a look at the total points right now. This is to really qualify things. Zhang and Sontaya with 24 total points. The rest of the squad, just 4.
But normally, you want better team balance. But for as long as you are in a good situation, then Coach Ronald Dulay will take it. And eventually, as the tournament rolls along, he will want more collective effort on the part of the locals, plus the reinforcements.
Let's check in now with Denise.
Recognizing that Minghua is being contained in the open position, Coach Dulay gives his setter the go signal to mix things up. He's told Aguero that she should be the one in charge and she should be able to think on her toes when it comes to setting up plays. Dulay said that variation is key, and if Minghua is again contained in another position, then the obvious solution is to give it to another player. Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Let's see what adjustments they're able to make here.
There was another rotation error for the Raiders earlier. As a result, they give up another free point. But now the Raiders will score. It will inch at 17-13.
Nice block. Another one.
Eh, sinasabi natin, Anthony, maski hindi pumupuntos yung mga locals ng RC Cola, yung sipag naman nila is able to complement the offense generated by Sontaya and Zhang Minhua. 3 straight points on this Zhang Minhua serve. Finally deflated by that service error. It has been a difficult afternoon for the Rising Suns amidst this huge challenge thrown at them by the RC Cola Raiders. Oh! Good save by Kotruwang. No angle to work on for Kotruwang. Ito na hinahanap mo, Anthony.
Well, you know, De Los Santos was a real thorn dun sa kanilang kalaban nung that first match that they had. So I'm just surprised that she hasn't been thrust into the action. De Los Santos comes in and scores quickly.
May designated servers. Ito naman, pagpasok, late here in the third set, impact point agad. Given by Sandra De Los Santos. No need to warm up for Sandra.
Tignan mo yung bola ni Kotruwang, yung kanyang serve. Napakahirap kunin. Sangmuang, go down the line.
Bernisco was blinded by that on the net deflection. Sangmuang scoring for Cagayan.
And watch this serve again.
Hirap sagutin, ano? Flat pero may puwersa. The control that she brings to that serve is highly impressive. Actually, yung control sa laro niya talaga makikita mo eh. At saka poker-faced, business-like, but highly efficient. New player also for RC Cola.
Going to the back row, Zhang blocked. Sangmuang, you're gonna say it's tipped.
That's a good call.
Well, our first referee didn't see it.
That's why we work in tandems.
On the outside, Sontaya going down the line. And they will score.
Nakakatuwa si April Luceno. She always has that ready smile, even when the game is on the line.
Yes, that's right.
Able to compose and relax herself. Difficult set.
Ouch.
Sloppy play on the receiving side by the Raiders brings Rising Suns. It's to their 23rd point. Not really the kind of rhythm that we are familiar of Coach Nes Pamilar and the rest of the Rising Suns, but still enough for them to breathe a sigh of relief, now ahead by 6.
Sontaya blocked. And De Los Santos with 2 quick points. She has been a spark here in the third.
Picture of quiet confidence. Sandra De Los Santos is youthful looking, with a lot of passion in playing the game.
Great action once again we're watching here in this point. And it will go to RC and they stay alive.
They saved the first of 7 set points that Cagayan has in its pocket.
Medyo marami-rami yung coach.
Kanina, kinain ng Cagayan yung set points na hawak ng RC Cola. But that service error will allow Cagayan to go on top at 2-1.
Not the way you want to lose a set, but nonetheless, as far as Cagayan Valley is concerned, they have come up with a better showing here in the final 2 sets. And they're now up 2-1. Let's go back to the action that we saw in the third set. At the same time, let's take a look at some numbers.
A 4 attack point advantage para sa Cagayan. But more than that, I feel that their net defense and their floor defense was extremely important for them as they attempted to rebound from a 1-set deficit to go on top right now, 2-1 versus a hard-fighting RC Cola Raiders squad of Ronald Dulay.
Would you say that they were somewhat able to finally control the 2 imports of RC Cola?
Yes, I believe so. Now they have Red Aguero setups for Sontaya and of course Zhang Minhua. The net blockers are quicker to the draw, and I believe that Jen Reyes has played much better compared to the way she performed in set 1. And I also like the defense of Sang Muang. Was focused on helping out Jen Reyes really contain the attackers. Dalawa lang naman for the RC Cola Raiders. Content, and then whatever that she can help out with offense, she's also able to produce. But I thought that Coach Nes Pamilar had a very timely substitution in the person of Sandra De Los Santos that enabled Cagayan to survive that third set challenge by the RC Cola Raiders.
And he does leave De Los Santos in here to start the 4th set, which what they're hoping will be the final set here in this match.
That is what Sandra can bring to your game after Maiso scored. She's not only a good attack player, but also a net defender. And that's one thing that the Cagayan Rising Suns really need, especially against Sontaya and of course Zhang Minhua. Hindi mo mapabagal yung bola, hindi mo masasagot. But with Sandra, they can slow things down in terms of defending against Zhang Minhua and Sontaya.
That's off the block. Sontaya will score again.
Angling that attack point off the blockers. Eulalia played well, make no mistake about it. Maganda naman yung tulong niya, lalo dun sa second set. Pero ngayon, nangangailangan pa ng isang attacker at isang mas mataas na defender. Coach Nes Pamilar, kaya pinasok niya si Sandra De Los Santos. He once again scores. The middle attacker. I think 3 attack points are ready for Sandra De Los Santos, who will be serving for the first time for the Rising Suns. Late entry in the 3rd set. Right now we're in the 4th set. Again, finding the hole in that area. The zone was open. Sang Muang delivered.
Sontaya scores again.
An attempted pancake by Sang Wang. Will not get it done. Sontaya with a tip.
Slowly but surely, Cagayan Valley was trying to open up a lead.
Yes. And I think they have taken control of this matchup. The first set was a huge challenge for them as they dropped that set 25-23. But a 23-16 and a 23-18 win the last two sets boosted their confidence.
Arsicola opting not to start with Aguero.
Too much spice in that serve by Sang Wang.
Mga ibang balas ang ginagawa ngayon ng Arsicola. Let's see if it works. Garbin just gets it over.
Smart play coming from Aiza Maiza. Young players would always want to go for power hits. But the more veteran players, the smarter ones, alam na nila kung paano babalasa, kung paano titimpla. At para kay Aiza Maiza, laging tama ang timpla. 5-3 advantage for the Rising Suns, make that 6-3. And the service ace coming from this ace of Coach Nespa Millar.
And Aguero has now been sent back in already here. It's now or never. And Cagayan, it just seems like they're on a roll right now, Coach.
I think they understand how dangerous the Raiders are. Anytime the Raiders are able to stay close, it's always a tough grind for Cagayan.
Well, you don't have to look too far. Just look at the first set.
Exactly.
Soriano dug. Gustillo did her job, but there was just no support. And so quickly here in the fourth, we get to our, yes, exactly. Very quick 8 points, and we are now a technical timeout of our fourth and possibly final set. Look at the total attack numbers. The imports with 25, the rest of the team with 27. That is what you call balance.
And now Cagayan outplaying the import-led squad of the Arsicola Raiders, using that collective effort to be able to storm to a 2-set against 1 advantage. And Zhang Minhua, when that set is flat, is outstanding and tough to defend.
Let's check in with Denise.
Coach Ronald Dulay is very frustrated with the fact that at this level of volleyball, he still has to explain how his team should position themselves in the service reception. He said that having 4 rotation errors during the last set is proof that the Raiders are out of focus. He kept on reminding his team that the key to extending this match to the 5th is for the Raiders to stop relaxing and start focusing and hustling. And Anthony and Coach Ronnie?
Thanks, Denise. Let's see if they can actually clear that up, because that really is, to have one in an entire match is a mortal sin, and they've had 4 already.
Oh yes, rare attack error coming from Zhang Minhua. Rotation errors, and likewise inability to backstop 2 excellent attackers have been the biggest problems, one of the biggest problems of Coach Ronald Dulay the last 2 sets. That's another ace for the Rising Suns, courtesy of Vargas. Slowly but surely, Coach Nespa Millar pressing the right buttons after the first set. Sandro de los Santos has been an impact player for Coach Nespa Millar since the 3rd set onwards.
12-4. Look at this scoreline. This is the scoreline actually that was expected by Cagayan from the very beginning.
We were blitzed in the first set with the confidence and the efficiency by the Arsicola Raiders. But this is the type of game that we expected of Cagayan to bring this afternoon in this matchup. Remember that this team is at 1-1. They lost their last game versus the TMS-Army team of Coach Rico de Guzman. A win here today will put them tied in the second spot together with TMS-Army. behind the 2-0 win-loss card of PLDT.
That stays in, and they now have a new libero. Talking about RC Cola.
That's Jed Montero from the Lady Maroons. Pangalawang palo na, malakas pa rin.
And that is where you take advantage of her lack of mobility.
Yes, and Cotruang pouncing on that weakness by Zhang Minhua to help out her team to an 11-point advantage here in the fourth.
Pasok ka. Pumasok ka. Tsagayin mo lang. Hindi naman matataas ang daan ng bola eh. Ha? Let's go, let's go. Let's go. One stop, one stop.
Yes, Montero in your screens. Quickly coming in here after the numerous mistakes from Gustilo. And let's see if she's able to come up and give them a spark.
I'm sorry, Anthony. Her floor defense will be called upon by Coach Ronald Dulay as they are under duress here in the fourth. A late entry should not be a problem for the spark plug.
Not the best of receptions there.
Sandra De Los Santos has punished the floor defense of the Raiders.
And that will bring us to our second technical timeout of set number 4. We'll be back. Back to the action here at Pasig City. 16-4 here in the fourth set. What a commanding lead here by Cagayan.
Gets even better as Cotruang continues to be the biggest thorn on the defense of the RC Cola Raiders, who suffered a meltdown here in the fourth. Biggest deficit that they have stared on in the entire 4 sets.
Actually, the biggest lead that we've seen here in the entire day so far. Talking about including our first match, Zhang hits the antenna. It's another point here for Cagayan. And it looks like they're going to cruise to a win here in the fourth.
A loss here by Cagayan will bring them down to the cellar, tied with Petron, who also has a 0-2 win-loss record. Of course, ang pace setter natin will be PLDT at 2-0.
Cotruang asking for a touch. Referees and officials say no.
Why not?
Well, they can afford those few mistakes at this stage. Ang laki ng kanilang agwat.
Sobra.
They go outside to Zhang. From the back row, Sontaya scores.
The worst thing that can happen right now to the Cagayan Rising Suns team is to relax. Remember that it took them 3 sets to wear down the challenge of the RC Cola Raiders. You're ahead. You were ahead by 13 earlier, but you had to get to 25 to close the door on RC Cola.
Coach, would you say that in the end, obviously, over-relying on your imports, that fatigue factor is going to set in as far as those two are concerned eventually?
I don't think that they have a choice, because yes, they have other hitters, but these two are definitely the best attackers for Coach Ronald Dulay. And I think that Aguero tried to shuffle her sets a little bit, but these two players are the focal point of their offense. Gumana naman doon sa first set, kaya lang tumibay na yung depensa nila Cotruang and the rest of the Cagayan Rising Suns. Problem right now for RC Cola, and nasa backline na itong si Zhang Minhua.
And she gifts another point here. Napakarami na all throughout this match. The serves of RC Cola have just not got in.
The problems have been compounded. Rotation errors, service errors. That's effort for Cagayan, which was sorely missing in set 1. Michiko Castañeda, also of the Fighting Maroons, seeing action for the first time in place of Bernice Ko.
Ito na, huling hugot na siguro yun, Coach.
Tama yan.
One of
Finally.
the rare instances.
Finally. That is more like it for Aguero.
And that brings the fans of RC Cola now to their feet. Actually, they're not using clappers. They're using the bottles of RC Cola.
Pwede yan.
Well, anything you need just to make noise.
Sandra De Los Santos has made a huge noise, a loud noise, the strongest noise for the Rising Suns from the 3rd set all the way here to the 4th. Pao Soriano, Joy Benito back in the fray for Cagayan. 12-point advantage for Cagayan, and only 4 points away from posting their 2nd win in 3 starts.
Castañeda tries to get it over, can't do it.
Sandra De Los Santos attacking Michiko Castañeda, who is fresh off the bench late here in the 4th.
It looks like she's going to go right back to her. You can see De Los Santos looking her way. Kitang-kita mo, nanggigil siya eh.
May stare down eh.
Oh! That might have gone out.
Too close. And again, Aiza Maizo packing a lot of punch. A punch that has swallowed the stand of the RC Cola Raiders, behind by 13. They won the first set. A close one. Stayed close all the way to the midpoint of the 3rd set, but eventually their stand has weakened against this onslaught all the way from up north.
Cotuang now in an attacking position. Back-to-back points though put together here by the team that is behind by a huge margin. Only 2 points away is Cagayan from wrapping up this set and this match.
Castañeda on deck to serve for the first time in this game. Ooh. Almost a rotation error once again.
Uh-oh.
And again, 5th time, as Coach Ronald Dulay looks helplessly from the sideline.
And that gives them match point.
Exactly.
Set point, match point here.
13 match points. Diyan na lang pumupuntos ngayon ng RC Cola halos sa mga service errors ng Cagayan.
Still a chance here for RC Cola. Sontaya. Could this be the final point? Cotuang, bang! And Cagayan Valley took a little bit longer than expected by the experts, but in the end, they showed that they were the superior team.
Took a set for them to warm up. They flirted with danger, but eventually they woke up in the nick of time. 2nd and 3rd sets were still tight, but in the 4th, they overpowered the challenge of the RC Cola Raiders, and they are into a tie in the 2nd spot together with TMS-Army, a 2-1 behind the pace-setting 2-in-low win-loss card of PLDT.
We'll be back to wrap things up. Let's look back at the numbers here of set number 4, where Cagayan Valley literally just dominated their opposition.
A dominant performance by Cagayan Valley, of course, anchored on Cotuang and Sandra De Los Santos. April Jose making the right decisions And likewise, their defense was excellent from the second set all the way to the final fourth set.
Well, it took them a while to heat up, but in the end, they actually come up with a 3-1 victory. Let's check in with Denise.
Gilligan's best player is Thai sensation Juanita Cotruang. So Juanita, you guys lost in the first set. You had a slow start. How did you guys adjust?
เฟิร์สเซตมีเขาถามว่านั่นแหละที่พี่บอกไปอ่ะเซตแรกที่เราแพ้แล้วทำไมแล้วเรามีการปรับเปลี่ยนอะไรเซต3-4ถึงชนะเขาอะไรอย่างเงี้ย Okay, I will tell them that the first set we have a problem about receive and just a little problem about setter and spiker, but 2, 3, and 4 we have just a little adjust about receive and position and communication, so we can kill their arm.
All right, and since you are our best player, you have gift certificate from Gilligan's.
Okay, she would like to say thank you to coaches, staff coach, and teammates, all of fans support Cagayan Lady Racing like that. So salamat po.
All right, thank you guys and congratulations. Back to you, Anthony and Coach Ronnie.
So that means Juanita now has got to take Patchery over and share that gift certificate kasi wala naman siya sinagot dun.
And these are the numbers illustrating the dominance of Cotruang, and of course aided by Sang Wang, who was graciously helping out Juanita Cotruang. Very shy, but has a very pleasing personality. And of course, an awesome game to back up that pleasing personality.
And we would like to invite all of you to come over and watch the matches. If not, join us here in Solar Sports. The match is on Saturday at 2 p.m. It's Signal up against RC Cola. In the second match, Petron is gonna face TMS-Army Lady Troopers. And in the final game, that'll be at 6 p.m. at the United Sports Arena in Pasig City, it's Sistema Active up against Gilligan's. And so, Coach, again, a fantastic day of volleyball that we saw here. Nakita natin yung mga leaders in the first game. Actually, shall we say, the team that was favored actually didn't really come to play. But in the second game, nakita naman natin nagpakitang gilas yung mas malakas na koponan.
And the contenders are right now creating that distance between themselves and the pretenders. And as the tournament rolls to its second week or second and a half week, ay makikita natin lalo yung distansya ng mga posible magharap sa kampyonato at yung nag-aasam na makarating doon sa quarterfinals.
And that just about does it here for our coverage. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Keep it here on Solar Sports for more volleyball action. Till next time, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good day. God bless.